Warning! The following episode of Orsini's Uncensored Mind contains explicit language and adult content. The thoughts and opinions stated on this show are reflective of A.J. Orsini, the Steve Dave, and their guests exclusively. Seriously, guys, my dada and uncle say some pretty crazy stuff. If it offends you, go be butthurt somewhere else.
Welcome to Orsini's Uncensored Minds, and now your host, AJ Orsini with Dave.
Hey. Oh, listen to the ovation and the crowd goes wild. We're back. We're back in the building, ladies and gentlemen. It has been a while. And did you miss us? We had some stuff going on in the world, some stuff that we all needed to indulge in. I'm, of course, your boy, your host, AJ Orsini, once again here with another episode of Orsini's Uncensored Mind. And do not let the question mark fool you. I am not alone. Dave, are you with us?
By a fucking thread. But yes, I'm here.
He is here. He is in the house. The Steve Dave, AJ Orsini, back on Orsini's Uncensored Mind. It has been 2 long, grueling weeks, but your boys are back in the chair again. Real quick, why? Why, oh why has it been 2 weeks? Well, first and foremost, the first week was because I was out of the country. I left on vacation, so I couldn't do the show that week. I made promises. Deals were made. It was all about the familia. And then while on vacation, or actually this was literally on my way on vacation, this ingenious idea came up. A familiar face to everybody here with the Squad of O, Mr. Stephen James, the grapple talker himself, came up with this really cool idea. And it was a joint show idea with all these different podcast personalities, all wrestling people, all these wrestling minds getting together, doing one super cool wrestling show, which we labeled the Untitled Super Cool Wrestling Show. That went down last Wednesday. We were live on Stephen James's Twitch account. I have since shared the information, so everything that we did on that show is available officially on our social media, on YouTube. So we didn't have an official episode, but that particular show was cut up into pieces and still treated as if it was an episode of ours, even though it was a joint show. So even though we haven't been in the chair here recording as per the usual, we still had some material out there for you guys to indulge in.
Still been working.
Yeah. You know, you got a chance to see our pretty little faces, and you got to see how far superior we are to every other podcast out there.
Wow.
Oh, I gotta take a shot at the guys. No, it was a really good time on the show with the guys, and there are talks of doing something like that again. We don't know. We'll see what happens. Little known fact, Stephen James works with a very, we'll just say, high-profile celebrity out of New York that is on television, but won't be on television for much longer for controversial reasons. I'll leave it at that. He's tied to that, so we're trying to see schedule-wise how that's going to look. So we'll get back to you guys if there's an update there. I wish I would have had the chance to promote that upcoming event while we were doing the episodes, but like I said, I was already on my way on vacation, which, by the way, is one of the topics we're going to talk about here tonight. In fact, what are we going to talk about on the show today?
Come on, don't keep us waiting. What's going to happen on the show today?
what's going down on the show today is we are going to talk about certain topics that have pissed me off. Today is the return of an old concept. Dave, I'm not sure if you've been around long enough for this concept. It's been a while. But today, we are returning to me being angry AF. I am angry as fuck on today's show, and there's going to be some recompense. There's going to be some issues. I got a problem, and I'm going to talk to everybody about it. And the first topic that we're going to be talking about here today, we brought it up on the little round table, on the little super show that we had. We brought up the Raja Jackson situation that happened at KnokX Pro Wrestling in California. I got a chance to talk to a group of people about it. Everyone got a chance to share their opinions. There were some great opinions shared about it, by the way. You can see a lot of those clips that are on the YouTube channel already, so we're not going to beat a dead horse. For the most part, most of that conversation has taken place. But what has pissed me off about it is, you'll hear about it in a second, because there's more information attached to that situation, and I got to get it off my chest. Following that, our topic is the return of an old friend of ours, Dave. An old friend. We honestly sat down and we tried. We tried. We gave it positive and negative. We played it straight-laced. But this was also touched on the Super Show, and it was teased. I didn't really want to go into specifics, but they're up to their buffoonery again. They're doing their tomfoolery yet again, so the gloves are off. We're talking about AEW here today. We haven't done that in a while, but we're going to talk about it fucking today because I'm done with the bullshit. And the stuff that we discussed on the Super Show, I didn't get a chance to go into detail because there's a lot of voices. You can't get it all out. You got to be a team player. But this is our program. This is my show. This is Dave's show. We get to say what we want on our show, so it's coming out here tonight. So the next topic after that, the tone will kind of drop a little bit. I won't be as angry because we're going to be talking about my trip to Canada. And during this trip to Canada, my blood boiled yet again. So there will be a little angry as fuck for this one. And then, of course, our main event for the evening, our top topic today, big pay-per-view that happened this weekend, mixed reviews, a lot of ups, a lot of downs. We're going to break it all down. We're talking about WWE's Clash in Paris. So that's what we're doing here on the show. That's what we're getting into. I'm sorry, something popped up on the screen, and I thought it was an error message, but it's not. And we're going to rally here, and let's go ahead and get into the first segment.
Let's begin segment 1.
Dave, may I open up our first segment of the show by asking you a question?
Yeah, absolutely.
I
love questions.
I have a
Questions are great.
I have a question, and I think you can answer it because it's kind of a personal question. It's about you. You said something very profound on the Super Show. And if it would have been our show, I would have jumped all over it because I would have been like, no, I think people need to hear this because I think it's a really good point. As a matter of fact, I clipped that point out, put it on the YouTube. It's doing fabulous. No dislikes on this one. It seems like everybody
On my take?
On your specific, not your take, but you actually drew a personal connection. You had made mention on the Super Show when discussing the Raja Jackson situation that you understood. You actually, mind-wise, you kind of understood where this guy was at when he flipped that switch and went into just angry mode. And just went off. And
crashed out before crashing out.
Crashed out, right. So you had made this, and this is the question I'm going to ask you, which is to actually kind of maybe divulge a little bit more into what I think you were saying, because you were saying how you used to feel like that a lot when you were younger.
I feel like that shit today. I feel like that shit. I felt like that shit at 6 o'clock today. I'm not even joking.
6 p.m.?
Yes. On the way home,
God.
yes.
He was getting ready to jump on somebody and hit him with 22 punches to the
Bro.
face.
Yeah, dude. I was getting gas on the way home. Someone came up to me. Hey, man. I do this thing on TikTok and Instagram, and I'll give away free stuff to the homeless. And he's doing all this flicking on the phone, and it's like he brought up his Instagram. He's like swiping. He doesn't bring up any full videos. He's swiping. I'm like, even if this was legit, get the fuck away from me. Like, get the fuck. I don't care if you're an angel from the heavens trying to get $5 for a bum. Get the fuck away from me right now. Like, I am not, dude. I'm telling you, I literally. It's so funny you said that.
Yeah.
Because on the way home today, I was like, bro, this is what I'm talking about. Because if I just would have released my inner Raja, I would be in jail right now.
My inner Raja.
That's how angry I was at the dude. The balls to think that I was a fucking target to come get some money from me with that bullshit. Like, it enraged me. So yeah, I can relate to being enraged. Still to this day, I don't let it out because I learned the hard way that you can't do that. But yes,
yeah. So what I wanted you to kind of get more into is that you had made mention that you understood what he felt. Specific. I know you mentioned today, but specifically during that show, you had mentioned when you were a kid. Mm-hmm. Can you start, if you think back? Can you actually think of a point in your life or a moment that stood out to you to where you can acknowledge that you kind of had an anger issue, but then is there a point in your life, maybe somewhere in your late teens, maybe early 20s, I can't tell you what it is, maybe you can tell me, where you started to realize this issue and then you started having a little bit more patience. You started, like, when did you get the idea that the anger issue was becoming more manageable for you?
Oh, okay, I'll give you some real shit. So when I started entering the work field, so maybe what?
Okay.
17-ish, 18. I worked before, but like private stuff. Like with people doing home stuff, but I'm talking like my first like real life out in the world job at Wawa stuff. It was that moment when I'm like out in the real world where I realize I'm not a kid anymore. So to caveat the anger, like I just said, is still there and is as real as it was when I was a little kid. Even to this day, like I gave you that example today, that's real rage. That's not me being funny. I really wanted to fucking swing on the guy because it's like, get away from me. So I have the rage. It's still in there. When I got into the public, I guess I could say, working out, I realized I probably shouldn't be violent, but the anger was still there. So people disagree with me. I'm right, whatever the case may be. I was a fucking full head of steam. I'm going to argue with you. You cannot out argue me. I will keep going. There is no off button. I'm just let up. That's where my anger turned into. Instead of turning into physical violence, it then became, all right, I can't hit you, so I'm gonna talk your fucking ears off until you just give up. And then I guess later on in my adulthood, maybe like around late 20s, early 30s, is when I started to realize, and this is the fucked up part. Okay, like a dialogue with myself. You're not wrong. You are correct, and you should beat the shit out of everybody who pisses you off. However, you're not going to get anywhere in life and make money if you keep trying to convince people you're right, because even when you are right and they tell you you're right, they still call you an asshole. And although I'm okay with being the asshole, it wasn't behooving me to be the asshole anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get
so in order to get ahead in life and get jobs, I had to change the perspective that I was giving to other people, regardless of how I felt about it.
Right.
Regardless if I'm right, you got to eat it. It doesn't matter. No one gives a shit. At this point in your life, it's no longer about, his feelings. It's more like, okay, he's a problem with knowing and we don't want to fucking deal with him. So when I realized that, that's when I started to like make the conscious decision of like keeping my mouth shut, taking the L, doing what you got to do. Like in my mind, like whatever. It doesn't pay to be right. So once I've learned that, made my pivot and start like calming down and trying not to be combative and shit like that, regardless of how I feel in the moment in real time inside and how the rage is there. I learned like probably like around 32 plus, where it was like, all right, you just need to learn to shut the fuck up. Just shut up, take the L, take accountability, even if it's not yours, and keep it fucking pushing. And that's the only way you're gonna be able to get anywhere in fucking life. So it's been working out pretty decently, much better than it was back in the anger days. But yeah,
But you made a conscious decision to turn it around, and the reasoning that you're giving is because the anger started to kind of work against you. It was
right. There was no
hurting.
value
Yeah.
like there was no like before the value was I'm right, I know I'm right, and that's where the value was. But when it became, and I didn't give a fuck about monetary, although I should have, and maybe it would have clicked sooner. But once life became monetary, like I need to reposition myself. That's when it was like, all right, you need to figure out how to do this differently. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. So let me follow up with a second question. Was there anyone you feel in that time period where you had started to figure this out, where it's just like, this is hurting more than it helps at this point? Was there somebody in your life that helped in the progression of starting to manage the anger? Or did you just do it on your own?
So I want to say no, but if I'm using my critical thinking skills and being fair or objective, be objective. I think it's when me and North started to get serious, because that's when the monetary became important. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
And trust me, you grew up with me, and you know the way I can be, and she handles it very well. So that right there is a fucking like for all the anger that I keep inside to not be perceived a certain way out in the world, she gets the pot that's steaming over. You know what I mean? Like the anger, the frustration, not towards her, but sometimes it's like I don't want to be bothered, or I'm fucking angry about something, and I'm like not screaming at her, but like screaming about the situation. And it takes a very particular person. Even friends, I got like maybe one, but even then, we don't. I kind of regulate myself there. She's good at She's one of the few people that aren't afraid, because, like I said, most people don't want to deal with me when I'm like that.
Right.
She's one of the only people in the world that'd be like, "Yeah, you're being a bitch. Like you're wrong." You know what I mean? Like you're wrong here. Like you are right in this aspect, and that's what you're dwelling on. But like these are all the ways that you're actually wrong, and you should focus on that, because that's what matters, because that's what's affecting your life, right? Like you think this thing matters, but it's negatively affecting you, and then these things matter, and you're wrong here, and that's also like you got to figure out where to take a stand. And there was a few years there, me working on that shit, that she kind of took the brunt of that, but she handled it like a G. So yeah, I would give it to her. I think she's the only one that really kind of like broke through to me, but that's what a fat ass doing. I'm saying, all right.
Hey, look, listen. I always tell my wife, I said, no matter how angry I am or sad I am, pussy is always an option.
Isn't it a great reliever?
It's like better than a leave and Excedrin together. The reason why I asked this question is because you were relatively young when you're still relatively young. I'm just saying that you were younger, or you were at a younger age when you made the conscious decision that this is not working out for the better. That something has to change in order for me to progress in my life. This is
so. I mean, that's not too long ago in the grand scheme of things, though. So I hesitate to put youth on that,
right. But
because if I am still young in the time span of life, I would say I was older when I put that together in my time frame. You understand? Like in my elder years of me being alive is where I put that together. I wouldn't say I was younger when I did.
Well, the main crux of why I'm asking you this is that the day eventually came. I don't know if the day will eventually come for Roger Jackson. I don't know if it ever will.
It could be. It's hard to say, and he's living in a different world than I am. I'm isolated.
Yeah.
This dude is in front of a camera, in front of a bunch of people, so I think I have the advantage there.
Right, and also the thing that he has going for him in the negative sense is his father is zero help in this department. Zero help.
And this is where I'll stop interrupting you and let you get to where we're gonna go with this.
Yes.
But I think you might actually be surprised on what you sent me and my take on it.
Okay, so let me read to the people exactly what we're hinting at here. So when this situation at KnokX Pro Wrestling originally happened, and again, we broke down a lot of what happened during that situation on the Super Cool show. So that clip, if you don't want to watch the whole show, that clip is available on YouTube. So I don't want to double dip for anybody who might have heard that and is now listening to this. We broke down exactly what happened and how it went down and our thoughts on that. But one of the things that we brought up during that conversation is that Rampage, his father, Quentin Jackson, his initial response to the incident was that of sympathy. It was, oh man, I'm not proud of what he did. It's kind of fucked up and blah, blah, blah. He was being real at the time. Even when he would say, hey, look, listen, at the end of the day, I'm a father, that's my son, and I'm going to go back for my son. At the same time, I don't really support what he did, and I let him have it when I saw him. Okay, cool. Since then, some things have changed about Raja Jackson and the situation in the mind of Rampage. He took to Instagram to post something as a response because there's a pro wrestling company by the name of Danger Pro Wrestling, and that is the last time. This is the last time we were able to talk about this fucking place. But it fits in the conversation. For whatever reason, they decided to promote a match that had Raja in it. Now, according to them, it was a joke. It was never really a thing. It was just something they were putting on the internet for shits and giggles, right? But everyone got pissed. Everyone outside of the wrestling community, people inside the wrestling community, and it was brought to the attention of Dad. And Dad wrote this on Instagram. I'm going to read the whole thing here. It's not that long. This has gone too far. I'm sick of being quiet and letting all the low IQ people fall for the clickbait. Yes, my son took things too far, and I'm pissed at him for being a piece of shit and the way he handled it. But if Psycho Stu wasn't drunk, it wouldn't have hit my son over the head with a real beer can while he was live streaming on his own stream. Then Knox wouldn't have felt like they had to make things right by letting Raja get back in the ring. If my son wouldn't have gone to the police, if my son would have gone to the police when the beer can incident happened, then the whole event could have gotten shut down and he could have sued. But no, my son is not as smart as I'd like him to be. Now, my family and I are getting racist threats because of the misfortune being posted so content creators can get paid from viewers. People think my son just snuck in a ring in front of a live audience and picked Psycho Stu up without permission to be there. Get smart, people. It was staged. But Roger took it too far. He only shook his hand and accepted Psycho Stu's drunken apology because they said he could get in the storyline. He was told he could, quote, fuck him up. I have witnesses that says this isn't the first time that Psycho Stu has done some drunk shit backstage to a fan. Now we have the backstory that my son attacked an innocent military vet with PTSD. Like my son knew everything about the man that came up from behind him and hit him and then asked him to sell it. I have other kids to protect, and I don't take kindly to threats. I'm not scared of prison or dying for my kids, and calling me names won't hurt my feelings. My son should face the consequences of going too far. He knows better. That's why he didn't tell me anything about the storyline. But Psycho Stu is lucky I wasn't there when he hit my son over the head with a beer can. that day. After he got the day after he got a concussion from sparring the day before. I wouldn't have cared if a bunch of pro wrestlers would have jumped me. I'm a father first. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Let's all learn a lesson. Keep your damn hands to yourself. If you get paid to do fake fighting, don't disrespect people that do the shit for real. Now I put myself in this shit. DM me now. That's the post. So what were your thoughts when you...
I fucking love that. I fucking love... Oh, my God. The inner child fucking cried when I saw this shit, dude. I love this, dude. Because I told you, man, like, I'm getting fucking chills. I know I'm being dramatic, but, dude, this shit hits for real.
Yeah.
Like, I get Raja, dude. That anger, man, I fucking get it, dude. I still feel it. But I had to do it on my own. And I can tell you what, there weren't many people, if any at all. And if I'm forgetting someone, forgive me. But I remember my life pretty well. And when I go on these damn rants, and when I go on these damn rampages, no pun intended, and I get myself in trouble, ain't a single motherfucker standing next to me on that hill. And that's okay. I plant my flag, and I'm willing to die on every hill that I fucking crash out on. I'm okay with that. I've accepted early in my life that the decisions I make doesn't matter how close you are to me. It is not your responsibility to stand next to me on my crazy shit. If I'm going to die here, I'm going to die here. I don't expect anyone else to do it, nor has anyone done it. So to see someone that I relate to so much, father stood up and go, hey, and he said everything right to me. Listen, he's an asshole. He should get in trouble for this. He shouldn't have done it. What he should have done was he could have shut the place down, sued them, and he'd have made some money off of this shit. But instead, he's acting like a baby. He took it the wrong way. He did the wrong things and it escalated, and he deserves the consequences. With that being said, if I was there, I would have fucked you up for touching my son. And if anyone who's got fucking smoke about my family, come see me. Because if there's one person in this world right now, or just in general, who can make this post, and I 100% wholeheartedly believe it, it's him. And the fact that he did that for his son, I think, and I know this sounds crazy, I don't know their relationship, but like, he could maybe think this is bullshit or whatever. I don't know their relationship.
Right.
But if I'm putting myself in it and I see that, like, this could be a pivoting point to me. Like, I know their relationship may be a little rough around the edges and shit.
Yeah.
But, like, if I'm a hothead, I feel like no one respects me, and I see my dad do that, dude, I might be like, all right, well, hold on. Maybe he does care.
For that one moment, he was like, thank you, Dad.
Exactly. So, I don't know. I don't know what your take on this is. When I was reading, I was like, man, I wonder what he's going to say.
Okay.
I fucking love this, dude. This is like the quote of a century for me, man. Everything he said on here was 100% correct and the perfect thing coming from the right person, man. I love this shit.
You was here for it. That's it.
Yeah, I love this shit.
Okay, incoming rant. So here's rant warning here. If you skip ahead if you don't want to hear the bullshit smoke, but I'm going to start off by saying this. Of all the shit he wrote, the most important part of that thing to me was I wish I was there. Because I wish he was there. Because I would have fucking loved to have seen if that fucking guy would have tried to work the kid while fucking dad was standing right there.
He wouldn't even fucking done it.
Doubtful.
Mm-hmm.
Now, for everybody who's leaning on the veteran thing, that he's a former veteran with PTSD who served in the military, okay? Again, this is where my heat's gonna come in. So this is the clip right here for you assholes out there. Just because you served in the military does not guarantee to me that you are a good fucking person. That's not laid down by fucking default to me. I've met some military people that are fucking badasses and awesome people. And I've met some people from the military that are straight up pieces of shit. So I've seen both sides of it. I don't know Psycho Stu, so I can't give you 100% whether he's a piece of shit, not a piece of shit. I don't know, okay? But we live in a world where everyone judges. Everyone, the people say, you shouldn't judge other people, but we all do. Even if we don't know anything about that person. How many times have you people out there seen people across from you on the bus or a train or at a supermarket, and you just walk by someone and your brain just instantly goes there. You just start breaking shit apart and you start judging. Imagine what your brain does in comparison to no information to having one piece of information. This is the one piece of information I have of this man. And it's not a good fucking impression. Until you told me he was a veteran, until you told me he was former military, until you told me he was an individual suffering from PTSD, all I saw was an asshole.
Mm-hmm.
So everything after the asshole act is now painted and smeared in doo-doo brown. At this point now, I don't give a fuck that he was in the military and he did his thing. He assaulted somebody. That wasn't a fucking work. Like we said on the Super Show, it takes two people to do a fucking work. You don't just start a work on somebody and not fill the motherfucker in that you're having a fucking work. Who gives a shit if he's streaming live on Kick? That's not your fucking stream. We said it on the Super Show. This whole company was looking for a TMZ moment, and they got one in the worst possible fucking way, but they got one. This shit is on everybody, and I wish that Rampage would have been there, because none of this shit would have happened. Because every single individual, and I've since the Super Show, because I said on the Super Show that I was pissed that there were a lot of people who just stood around watching this dude get punched in the face. No one had the guts to jump on this guy except for the one dude. Douglas something, I forgot his last name. He jumped, the dude with the braids. He jumped on the fucking guy, fucking held him into the corner. He did his thing, right? He's the one guy out of all of this that I actually have mad respect for, because he's not in the beginning footage. He didn't make himself a part of any of the drama, but when the drama hit, he was there. I found out that the guy with the face paint, the Mexican Jeff Hardy wannabe that was in there with the black fucking tank top and the pants and the paint, he was a fucking minor. I just found out. He's a minor in the wrestling ring with all of these grown adults in a locker room that apparently had the alcohol just fucking flowing throughout the course of the fucking night. None of this shit is good for anybody. Raja didn't do MMA any favors, and KnokX Pro Wrestling didn't do wrestling any favors. Now, since we last talked about this, here's a few fucking updates. KnokX Pro Wrestling is either folded at this point or on its way to being folded. WWE pulled its ID status immediately. No fucking conversations about it. Off. And the only reason this because I've seen the WWE ID be put on companies other than that one that are really good companies. I'd never heard of this one. I didn't know that it had it. But then I found out it was an Anawahi promotion, and now I know why it's got it. It wasn't based on anything that they achieved or anything they had done. It was basically a family thing. So that sword has two edges. You were given the benefit of the doubt because you were family. But now you're getting burned twice as bad because you're family. Because you fucking up the name. So they took the fucking thing off of KnokX Pro Wrestling. Then I find out that this place is an academy, so to speak, quotations. It's a school. Can you imagine? I had a migraine when I heard that this fucking place with these fucking people are training wrestlers. And guess what the students did when they saw this incident take place? All the fucking students withdrew from the school. All of them. At
once?
No, I'm pretty sure there wasn't a single file. But within the week, they were out of students. Nobody's there anymore.
That's crazy.
Why the fuck would you attach yourself to this? Because if you go to that school and you train there and you get booked in other places and promoter goes, oh, where did you train? KnokX Pro. Yikes.
Fucking yikes.
No fucking thank you.
Oh, man.
You came from that alcohol bullshit over there to bring it up. No, we're good. Nobody wants that shit attached to them, so they're gone. Then came the infighting. The company started fighting amongst itself. Reno Anawahi, whatever his relation is to Rikishi, he was the promoter and the booker at the time of the incident. Rikishi was not in the building. And he was the one who was the older Anawahi that was sitting down, that was holding back Stu. And they were laughing and talking about the receipt. And he was the one that uttered the words, "You can fuck him up in the ring." He was the one that uttered that. Then there's AJ Mana. And the only reason I know this name, if you look at the footage, AJ Mana is the individual with the cowboy hat. Okay? He's the one with the cowboy hat. He's the one standing next to Raja with the smile on his face, all on the camera, getting his 15 minutes of fame. And I know AJ's upset, and I know that he's feeling really emotional right now because this footage went so viral. Not only is he out of the wrestling business, he lost his shoot job. He lost his real job. The one that actually made him money, because he wasn't making money in wrestling, obviously. His real job fired him because they saw the footage and tied him to it, and they said, well, you're an accessory to a possible, attempted murder. You can't work here. And then he goes on some dude's podcast, hooping and hollering, screaming about telling the truth and all this other bullshit about how he's being set up, he's being made to be the fall man for this, for that, for that. No. This is going to be the first time I'm screaming on my own show. Fuck that. Fuck AJ Mana, because I've seen fuckers like you my entire fucking career. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to need you to stand on this bullshit. I'm going to need you to stand on that, because he did what all these go nowhere, never been, will never be ass motherfuckers who work in these locker rooms, the 20-year vets who've never done shit because they don't know how to do shit, and they can't travel anywhere because their skills are shit, but they know the promoter, so they get booked at this one particular place once a fucking month for the last fucking 2 decades. They're fucking nobodies from nowhere. And because they've been doing this for so long, quote unquote, because what the fuck do you do for 20 years and not get a sniff? Imagine being in medical school for 20 years. Never once getting a fuck. Are you out of your fucking mind? Nothing, from nowhere, a fucking nobody. I've seen veterans like that. When they work at the promotion and a big star or a big name from somewhere or a guest or something like that comes to the show, and they are up their ass. They want to show the whole locker room, look, I'm cool. I'm a big thing. This motherfucker was involved with everything. He was there from the beer can thing. He was there with the conversation with the promoter. He was a part of the whole fucking thing. He was the one egging on Raja when they were walking away. He's the one who told them about the receipt. He's the one who told... He denies that. He goes, oh, I'm not the one who told him to fuck him up. That was the promoter. No, the promoter said to fuck him up. You told him what a fucking receipt was. You did that. See, if all of this had gone according to plan, if AJ would have been hanging with Raj, getting on the kick, getting his name out there, getting his 15 minutes, and Raja would have went in there and did a double leg and did some work shit while the two of them are just like fucking around, getting a nice pop from the 12 people that came to the fucking show, and that would have been the end of the story, he would have been all over this. Those pictures would have been all over his social media. Me and Raja Jackson, what up? But because Raja took it too far, but because Raja got the negative press, now he wipes his hands of it. Fuck that and fuck you. You were a part. You can't unsuck that dick, motherfucker. You can't do it. You were gargling his balls for hours before it got to that. You got his nuts to a nice stew. Why do you think he pulled off that double leg so goddamn good? You blew all the stress out of him. And now you got that cum in the middle of your stomach and it feels bad, right? It makes you feel nauseous. No, stand on that. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to ask you to stand on that. If you didn't want any part of it, you shouldn't have involved your fucking self. Because the people that were involved with Raja and Stu and Reno, nobody else. You fucking involved yourself because you wanted to be taken and seen like a fucking star and a somebody. Well, motherfucker, you're a star and a somebody now. But this isn't the light you wanted. And now you losing shit. Left and right. Crying and shit on the podcast. Getting all emotional. Oh, I can't wrestle no more. Hey, newsflash. You probably shouldn't have been wrestling from the beginning. So thank your good lucky stars you got as much time as you did. Secondly, oh, I lost my shoot job. You should. You did the thing that they're fucking accusing you of doing. You assisted in an attempted fucking murder. You didn't know you were at the time, but you did. It's called fucking negligence, you dunce. And then the fucking company, I don't know if you saw this, Dave, I don't know if you saw this, the company started sending messages to individuals and through a supposed group chat of everybody involved with the company, the management, the people who were involved with the company. I don't know if it's Rikishi or Reno or who. I don't know the specifics, but there's a text chain that's out there of the school and the company telling the students and telling the workers not to cooperate with the police.
Isn't that illegal?
Very much so, yes. So for everybody out there who
tampering with investigations,
for everybody out there who's still bitching and confused as to why Raja hasn't been arrested for what? Because while yes, what we saw was egregious and aggressive, and he's a fucking animal, you don't get mad at the lion when you put the meat in front of him. You don't put the meat in front of him. You don't put the lion in the position to fucking strike. As long as you're behind the glass, you're good. They poked the bear. We know he's not right in the head. This is not the first time people have heard of Roger Jackson doing some stupid shit. This is by far the worst. This is where he crossed the fucking line. This is where he took it too fucking far. But Raja did what Raja does. And you fucking knew it. They knew he's easy to set off. They knew that if they pushed just the right buttons, he'd go off. They didn't know what would happen when he does. They weren't ready for it. And then my favorite part of the entire fucking conversation. The locker room. If you were in the locker room during this incident and you sat there and you watched this motherfucker punch your coworker, your friend, in the fucking face till damn near death, and you did nothing, you are a bitch, a pussy, and a coward, and you will be for the remaining time you have on this planet. You will never be able to get that opportunity back. The only motherfucker in the building with nuts in his shorts was Doug. Because this dude was in full punching motion. He dove right in, and he wasn't even fucking ringside. He was in the back. And he was the match before. Even he said, the motherfucker's lucky I was tired from the match before, or we'd have scrapped. All he did was hold him down. And Doug was convinced. He said this on a podcast. He said, I have this feeling with the look in his eye and the shit he was saying out loud that if I didn't go for his waist, if I would have allowed Raja, like if I would have stood up to Raja as opposed to put my weight down, he would have double-legged me and he would have tried to punch me. And he's dead fucking right. Because at that point, Raja's seeing red.
Oh, he's red.
He's red. Yeah. Everyone gets it now.
He doesn't even see who's in front of him.
He doesn't know. Yeah, he doesn't know. He's in a different fucking world. So, yes, I believe that 100%. And
that's good awareness by him, by the way.
Yeah, he picked up on that really.
He's street smart.
Yeah. Smart enough. Smart. He was able to handle himself pretty good. He had that guy pretty much covered in the corner until everybody came out. There was mentions here on the thing that Rampage put down. The beer can to the head. Everybody was like, "Oh, it was an empty beer can." No, it wasn't. It had fluid in it. That's why when he hit him, they had the fucking spray effect. You idiots.
It doesn't matter.
What it wasn't. That's how. Hold on. That's what I'm trying to say. It wasn't. First of all, it wasn't empty. It had the fluid. All he really did was just pop the top, right? So yes, there is less pressure on the can when the top is open. But I'm going to tell you, like I told you at the Super Show, from the projects, from the PJs. If you slap me with a can full of feathers, I'm fucking you up. I'm fucking you up. If you were to throw a sock at me Not even a balled up sock with more density and weight. A loose tube sock in my direction. I'm fucking you up. Because it's not about the object. It's the disrespect. That you feel you can do whatever you want to do. Not only just to me in front of people, but on fucking Kick Live?
Yeah, that's where I was going.
You're wild.
For some people, a punch in the face or being called a bitch on live TV are the same thing.
Yeah. Yes. Abso-fucking-lutely. If you get too close to me and you breathe and I don't appreciate it, I'm fucking you up. And Rampage said the same thing that I said. I said this at the Super Show. He said it after I said it, but we are on the same page. He said, of course he shook his fucking hand. Because they told him he'd get a chance to fuck him up. Of course. There was never an apology, folks. Never. Stu did that shit because at that point he knew he had done fucked up. Watch the footage again, folks. He was sincerely apologizing. And Raja just kept shaking his fucking head. Sure. It was at that point he knew he was going to fuck him up. But because everyone says, well, if that was the case, if he really wanted to fuck him up, why did he fuck him up right there? Because if he would have fucked him up right there, that's illegal. But when the fucking promoter and the individual involved give you the go-ahead to hit him as hard as you want a little later on, you take advantage. That's why everybody's like, how did he not get arrested? Who's pressing charges? Yeah, I know what we all saw on camera. Who's pressing charges? The wrestler that he double-legged that told him to hit him? The promoter for the company who told him he should hit Stu? The dumb douchebag in the cowboy hat who told him what a receipt was and how he should do it? Not only did they give him permission to be in the ring, they gave him permission to assault this man, and they even broke down the fucking terminology he should use when he fucks this man up. Imagine telling an individual how to rob a bank, what time they should rob the bank, leaving the fucking door open, and then being mad when he walks out with money. Fucking stupid. So I wanted to bring this up one last time to get it off my chest about that whole situation, and also let this be a cautionary tale to everybody else. Because this could have stopped at KnokX Pro Wrestling. And for those of you wondering again why he's not arrested and why they're not pushing charges and not pushing the issue, not only is KnokX Pro Wrestling not going to push the issue with this guy legally, they want so bad for this shit to just stop and go away. They don't want people like me on the show talking. They don't want people like ESPN picking this up. They want it to go away. You know why? Because everybody's at fault. Including the motherfucker who almost choked to death on his own fucking teeth. I'm sorry, I don't have sympathy for that individual. He can put that goofy little smile on the internet all he fucking wants. Because I'm sure he's loving the sympathy right now. This is probably the most positive attention he's ever received in his fucking life. He's loving it. He ain't getting it from fucking me. And I can imagine Rampage when he said all the racist comments and the racist DMs. Oh, I can just imagine. Take one look at Stu and then take one look at Raja. I can tell exactly the individuals who are in Rampage's DMs. I think all of you out there can envision in your head who's messaging Rampage. And one last piece of it, of something to say. If you're a wrestler, a professional wrestler, and you're one of the ones in his DMs, you're a bitch and a pussy too. I'm lumping you in. What the fuck are you messaging this man for? Do something or don't do something. What are you messaging? What are you messaging to Rampage Jackson in his DMs?
Yeah, Rampage sounds cool, but I mean, at the end of the day, you're like talking to someone's dad. Like, that's fucking weird. Like, why are you telling on someone's son to their dad?
Well, I'm sure they're messaging Raja too. But I can promise you, I don't care how old you are as a man, there's a difference between being able to fight and being a fighter. And I don't give a shit how old you are. There's not a lot of guys, I can promise you, less than 1% of the people that in either of their DMs can actually fight these motherfuckers.
Oh no, absolutely not. Not unless they're strapped, and even then, I don't recommend it. I don't
strongly
think any of these people saying any of this shit to any of their faces.
No.
Raja, you might be able to muster up the courage, but I don't think there's a very few finite number of animals that can stand in that guy's face.
No fucking way. So you're all pussies, for the record. If you were going to do something, do it. You know where to find them. They're live on Kick every fucking day. They're not hard to find. They're not hiding. But that's not the point. You don't actually want to do something to these people. You just want to send the message and then show it to your friends. Oh, look at me. I just cussed out Rampage Jackson. He knows what it is. He don't want this smoke. Fuck you. Smell like fucking tuna fish, pussy. None of you motherfuckers did anything. I can't imagine. Yo, oh my God. I was talking to this with a couple of my friends that I've worked with in the past. We all said the same thing. That motherfucker would have never made it out of our locker room in one fucking piece. No fucking way. No way. And I've been in situations where a guy had to get straightened out in the locker room. In the locker room. I've seen it. And we all said the same shit. He would have never made it out of that locker room in one solid fucking piece. The EMTs would have had to come in there and drag his ass out. And this motherfucker beat the shit out of your friend and walked the fuck on live. Walk on live. Not even like on some sneaky shit. Like he's streaming his exit.
That's not surprising though, man. The camaraderie today is a little different.
Nope. It's all these locker rooms are filled with bitches and pussies, play fighters, pretend, Cirque du Soleil fucks. That's who's in these locker rooms now. They would have. Oh my God. We would have like, yo, listen. Even if it took the strap, somebody would have had it. Especially up here in the Northeast, somebody's got one. Someone's got one. He would have. I'm telling you, he would. Rampage would have come down to our next show to find us, to fuck us up for what we did to his son. He would have came looking for us. It wouldn't be the other way around. Raja and Rampage aren't doing shit because nobody's doing shit. If you were to do shit, they would do shit. But no one wants to jump because they know they get their ass handed to them because they're all jerk-offs. Everybody involved. Raja, too. He's a bitch, too. No doubt about it. Complete bitch. But this bitchness is enough to go around. Everybody's sharing in the douchebaggery. So, just wanted to put that out there and get that one off my chest. I've been stewing since the fucking the super show on that one. And then the more the information came out, and I was like, God damn it. When I saw that fucking Instagram post, I put it on the rundown. I was like, nope, enough. We're doing it. And I got more anger coming up. Here's our next segment.
Next up, segment 2.
I said it on the super show. I'll say it here. Fuck everything about All Elite Wrestling. Right off the gun.
They're doing it again.
Right
man.
off the fucking top.
They're doing it again. And
Right?
I don't even have a horse in this race, to be honest with you, but even then.
So I teased something. It wasn't an intentional tease. We were just short on time and we didn't really divulge more into it. But there was something that we mentioned on the super show where Albert, who has an amazing name, Albert Albanese, I'm like, who the fuck named you that? That's amazing. But he was on the show and he was very cool, very diplomatic, very respectful. And I get it. As we started talking, I started realizing that I think he was being a little extra careful with a lot of us because a lot of us have experience being in the actual business and he doesn't. He labeled himself, he's just a fan. But at the same time, like I got a very glaring sense that he was being very respectful and he was very choosy with his words. But at the same time, he was kind of down on AEW for his specific reasons that he laid out. I am afforded the opportunity to not have to be all that humble all the time about my position because of the dues paid, right? So it's like I've got the time in. Now, did I get to that level? No, but that doesn't negate the time spent, the effort spent, the money spent, the blood spent, the tears spent, the sweat spent. So when I say things like, fuck everything about AEW, people will respond back and go, oh, what does it matter that he says that? It's not like AEW is interested in him. That is fine. The feeling is extremely fucking mutual. Listen, when we were doing, I think before you got on the show full time, I was doing episodes regarding AEW because during that time period, it was kind of bare bones. It was like the beginning, right? So it was very topical. This is the Cody, Kenny, Young Bucks era when they were just starting everything out. Chris Jericho is now a part of this company. That's a big splash. That's big news. They were working in big buildings, full houses. This was looking like a serious thing.
And their stance and mission, to be fair, and the what you're speaking of right now,
Yeah.
their mission and their actions were completely different than today.
They've completely spiraled.
They've had time to show their true colors.
Yeah.
But the time frame of which you're referencing, I'm saying this because like even in the moment when we first started, I do remember like when we were going over it, you were like, all right, let's not so much like not be critical, but like let's not be like as aggressive even with the bad stuff.
Yeah.
Just because we want to maintain the right light and stuff like that. Because you never know, right? It was definitely a time where like the land of opportunity,
right?
Like, things were awesome. They were up again. The mission was there. Everyone was on board. But as time went on and we started to see those true colors and we started to see unfold and start to see the true motive and start to see the fame kind of get to certain people's head and stuff over there. Yeah, it's just became 100%. Yeah, fuck this. Because that honestly, and I'm not at the level you're at as far as like expertise in the field and everything like that.
Right.
And I feel betrayed. So that should tell you something,
Yeah.
right? Like I can imagine people who are invested in this, who've put in the work, who maybe even saw it as an opportunity or was on board and supported and donated and bought stuff and went to the shows because this could be the wrestling we've all been waiting for. And I feel like it's like people have just been bamboozled and some people just refuse to like agree to that. Like the people that still watch it today, I don't get it.
Right. This entire thing that is AEW has been, is, and at this point, I'm thoroughly convinced it will forever be a vanity project. That's all that it ever was. They used the word opportunity. It was never an opportunity. It's all filler. That's all any of these performers ever really was. When they first started talking about AEW, we were promised sports-based presentation. And then immediately got Rick and Morty, Ghostbusters, an arcade thing where they were smashing these fake little arcade cabinets. It was WWE Light from the beginning. So that went out the window. Then it was, we're going to be wrestlers first. Right? We're going to give you the opportunity for creativity. We're going to give you an opportunity to succeed. We're going to give you an opportunity.
No scripts.
Yeah, none of that garbage.
No dialogue.
No writers and all that other stuff.
We're going back to the attitude era.
And what ended up happening was
mayhem.
They absolutely meant it when they said, we're going to give you guys the opportunity to succeed. Because anytime anyone ever gives you the opportunity to succeed, they are equally giving you the opportunity to fail. And unless you have the experience to know what works, what doesn't work, how to change, how to adapt, how each crowd is different, you will almost certainly fail. And that is what happened to a lot of the AEW talent, because there's no infrastructure there that is in place to aid any of these people in success. If you're a former WWE superstar and you've been there and you've wrestled at a high level, a Moxley, a Jericho, a Neville, but his Pac, right, or Claudio, or any of these guys with high level experience, then you can succeed because you've already been through a structure that helps you learn how to succeed. Even if you're not a former WWE guy, Will Ospreay comes from the New Japan system.
Mm-hmm.
But he's talented.
Kenny Omega.
Kenny Omega came from the New Japan system, right? All of these guys came from different systems. They know how to succeed because they were trained and taught how to succeed. That atmosphere does not exist in AEW. And for the record, they happened to have hired a bunch of people who wouldn't want the structure even if they fucking had it. Because there's a lot of veterans that go to AEW. A Bryan Danielson, a Jerry Lynn, a Jim Ross. Imagine Jim Ross, arguably one of the fucking goats of this industry, telling you or giving you some form of advice that he feels would aid and help in your career, and you just roll your eyes and walk the fuck off. It's almost enough to guillotine a motherfucker before a big pay-per-view. A wink. Because some of these fucking people will do that. They figure, I'm already signed, I don't need the fucking help. Adam Page, the world fucking champion, went on fucking television and told the world, I don't even listen to the advice the old timers give me. I do my own thing. So that's the atmosphere. Okay? The other side of AEW that drives me fucking nuts is everybody looked at WWE and said that place is a terrible place to work because you're not working to the 20,000 fans in the building. You're working to an audience of one. You're working to Vince McMahon. That's it. That was the criticism. You're only really going to be successful if Vince McMahon wants you to be successful. You're only going to do it if Vince McMahon thinks that you can do it. That's it. That's all that's going to happen. You're very limited. And AEW promises, we're not going to do that. And then immediately does exactly that. Because unless you are on the Tony Khan train, you don't get used. How many people in AEW history have we heard about that's been home doing nothing, not injured? There's just nothing for them to do. If they're getting paid, fucking great. But you're not building any equity. You're not building it. You're not getting any more experience. You're just at home. And then the other way, which is going to lead us to what we're talking about here. You get hurt. You take the time you need to convalesce. You even come back and perform at a high level. And then your contract is up and they go, oh, you remember that time you were injured for like 5 months randomly in 2021? Yeah, we're adding that to your contract now to extend it. That was the reason we didn't get the Lucha Bros in WWE, because they put that shit on Ray. Penta's contract expired. Ray's was supposed to expire, but they added time due to an injury that happened like a year or two before that. Just so at the very least we can mitigate it and they won't go to the WWE together. But what ended up happening was that they put it on Ray Phoenix, who then just stayed home for the duration of that entire thing.
Took a vacation.
Got paid the entire time and then wound up on fucking SmackDown anyway.
And is fired.
So what was the fucking point?
And you thought you were going to fuck them up from coming in separately, and you only did them a fucking favor.
Yep.
Because not only do we have the backup of them coming together, but them separate has been absolutely amazing.
Mm-hmm. And when the day comes, and it probably will at some point.
It will.
Where they team up, even if it's for a short amount of time, more money to be made.
Fire.
Because if you think the Penta merch is selling and the Ray Phoenix merch is late, wait till you get Lucha Bro merch. Done. They told Miro, Rusev, we don't have anything for you. He spent half of his contract at home. And then when they finally did realize, hey, we're paying him a bunch of money to do nothing, we should probably get him to come to work, they pitch ideas, and he would just go, no, you guys made your point. I'm good. I'm just going to stay home. And he stayed home for like a year or two. And now he's on SmackDown. Now he's on Raw and just had a...
I mean, if they can do that, like, where, like, are you the... I guess this is a rhetorical question. Are you that stupid where you tell them to stay home because you think you have the leverage and you think you're punishing them? But then you're like, oh, maybe we should do something because we're spending money here.
No,
Let's
because
try to get some money back. And they're just like, nah.
Because that's how stupid he is. He feels in his head and in his heart that the punishment is not being on the show. Yeah, he's getting paid, but he's not working a show. Right. That's kind of the point. How rested were these guys when they left and went to WWE? They'd been off the road for a year. They're feeling phenomenal.
Yeah, and you're not talking people who've been doing it for 2 years, 3 years, 4 years.
Yeah.
You're talking people who've done it their entire life. So it's like riding a bike. So you're just letting them rest their body. And yeah, they'll have some rust. I think on a side note, I personally think Rusev's got a little bit of an identity thing going on right now. And I think he needs to figure it out and quick, or we might see someone disappear here. That's my own opinion. But you don't punish them from giving them a break. If anything, in this industry, when you've done it for so long, you're only doing them a favor, letting them rest their body.
Now you can
pay them.
You can make an argument on either side, right? You can say, "Oh well, serves them right for being difficult to work with. They don't deserve it. Fuck them." You can look at it the other way and say, man, what a fucking idiot. Why would you pay these guys to do nothing? You can argue on both sides. There is an incident that is happening right now as we speak that defies the brain. Because, again, lies. Lies. Every single time Vince McMahon ever extended it happened to Ray. That was one of the most famous examples. It happened to Ray. Ray was at the end of his contract, but he had multiple knee injuries, and they extended his contract due to the knee injuries and the time off from the injuries and stuff. And the internet shit a fucking chicken. How dare they? And this and that and the whole shebang. And he's convalescing. What a bunch of douchebags, right? Tony Khan, AEW, even the fan base, always with we would never do that. We're wrestlers first. We take care of our people. Okay, so Danhausen comes into your fucking promotion to great fanfare, performs in whatever way you want him to perform. He tears his pec. Has a pectoral injury, tears it. Gone for a few months. Comes back to TV. Performs again. And again, if you're not on that Tony Khan train, you don't get used. So he went out there, did his thing, and then they just, hey, why don't you just hang back at the house for about a week or two? We'll run through some stories and get some stuff done, and then we'll bring you back fresh for something new. We'll let you know when that's going to be. And they just never called him again. So now his contract's coming up. And he reaches out to AEW and he says, hey, we haven't spoken in a while, but I just wanted to remind you guys, my contract's coming up in a few weeks. I just wanted to let you know that it was coming up, remind you guys, and to, very respectfully and politely ask that maybe you guys don't renew the contract. I'd like to do some other things. I had a great time. Very respectful. They responded back by extending his contract for the time that he had missed when he was injured, which takes him now into 2026. But following that renewal was no pitch. They're not planning on bringing him back. They just renewed it. Now, there's no word on the street that WWE is interested in Danhausen. I don't think TNA, I haven't heard anything about TNA being interested. We don't even know if the things he wants to do is related even to wrestling. We just know that he just didn't want to be there anymore. And they renewed him anyway against his fucking wishes. So now he's trapped in the AEW. Mm-hmm. So and when this first happened, I was like, okay, so where's the outrage? But we've gotten some outrage now. Now there's people going, okay, hold up. When it happened to Ray Phoenix, everybody was like, I mean, I get it, but it sucks. I really want to see them together at WWE. Da, 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 da. This is not that situation. This is not a situation of people saying, well, I get it. It can hurt the numbers if he goes to WWE or what. That's not the case here. I mean, all due respect to Danhausen, if he was on Raw tomorrow, it's not going to make a difference to AEW or WWE. It's not going to make a margin. This is not one of those situations. If MJF decided tomorrow that he wanted to go to Raw, I could see you playing games with the contract. That makes sense. That would hurt you. This doesn't hurt you. Why are you trapping this man? To then not use him. He's at home shooting videos by himself in his house with CM Punk for some reason. I don't know how that happened, but they're hanging out now on this show, and that's double death for him, because if you're talking to Punk, you're definitely not getting used on AEW television right now. There's no way. So they're just playing a lot of games. They announced, oh, you're gonna love this. I don't think you saw this. You might be hearing this for the first time. They announced today big news for their next show. So their next show is All Out. That's like their WrestleMania, All Out. It's their big show of the year. This particular one is going to be in Toronto. Mm-hmm. And they already had the date set, which was September 20th. Then WWE pushed the issue with ESPN. And they very strategically got their way out of the Peacock deal. So this Clash in Paris that we're going to talk about later is the last Peacock pay-per-view we're going to talk about. Because they're headed to ESPN September 20th for WrestlePalooza, which we'll talk about later. Stupid fucking thing. But we'll talk about that later. So they booked WrestlePalooza same day as All Out, right? To cut into the profit, cut into the attention, to damage them. Makes sense. It's business, right? This happens all the time. So AEW made 2 announcements today. And when I heard them both, I almost pissed myself laughing. This has got to be the most AEW thing I've ever heard in my entire fucking life. The first announcement was due to a competitive nature, our show on September 20th, AEW's All Out, will begin airing at 2 p.m.
Ugh.
We're going to go on before WrestlePalooza.
So they'll get done by 12. That's good.
I was going to say, yeah, they're still going to finish after WrestlePalooza, even if they start at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. But yeah, so they said, yeah, we're going to start at 2. I was like, oh, so we don't want smoke? What happened? I thought weren't they gloating not too long ago about beating WWE in the ratings and something? But we don't want that smoke, right? You don't want WrestlePalooza to go against your big show? Okay, makes sense. And then they hit me with the one that made me cackle. I actually had like a very like I kind of laugh because it was fucking hilarious. They also announced that this pay-per-view will air on HBO Max. And why does that make me laugh? I'm an HBO Max subscriber. Sounds like a deal made in heaven, right? I'm already a subscriber. That means I'm going to get the pay-per-view. Wrong. It is going to be on HBO Max for an additional $40.
Get the fuck out of
So
here.
I got to pay $40 on top of my subscription to watch the fucking pay-per-view. And the fucking people in the comments almost gave me a fucking stroke because they were in there defending this shit. Oh, it's a discount. It's a discount because the pay-per-view is normally like 50
$60.
Yeah, like 55, $60. Now you can get it for 40. It's a discount. I'm like, you're a fucking goof.
Wait a minute. I have a question.
Okay.
Do I then hold on? Let me see if I figure out a way to shoot him some bail.
Okay.
Do I not need the subscription to pay for the pay-per-view and watch it?
Excellent question. If you're going to watch through HBO Max, you have to pay the $40. If you don't have an HBO Max subscription, then you need to buy the pay-per-view through the means you were already buying the pay-per-view for the $55 or $60.
Through HBO.
Nope. No. I'll say again. If you have HBO, it's $40. If you don't have HBO Max, then you can't see it for the $40. You have to stick with whatever pay-per-view provider you would use.
So they're doing both. I guess my question is, it's not exclusive to HBO.
No, it's not exclusive to HBO. They're giving the HBO subscribers a fucking discount. That's what everybody's all jumping for joy and blowing each other and putting in their will and testament and getting their fucking funeral processions together because they're so hyped they might have a fucking heart attack because of it, because of the chance.
Well, how much? Hold on. How much is HBO Max?
Oh, that shit's auto pay, baby. I don't have that shit off the top of my head.
Like $10? Like $10?
No.
13?
Hold on one second.
$15?
I'm gonna pull it up right here. Sign up for HBO Max. I'm gonna give you the because my shit is auto pay. Your boy's got it. Hold on a second. Okay. Now I remember. I have this actually. So there's a package bundle that they have. If you want to just do the plan alone by itself, you can get HBO Max student discount. It actually doesn't have it by itself. It just says bundles at the moment. But even the bundle, right? So the bundle, if you want to do Disney Plus, Hulu, and HBO Max as a bundle, that's $16.99 a month.
Wait, now, well, hold on.
That's with
we're
ads.
Go down a rabbit hole. Is that ad free?
No, I was just gonna say with ads. That's with ads.
I want ad free numbers.
Of course you do, because you're a civilized human being like myself. Disney Plus, Hulu, HBO Max, all three, no ads, $29.99 a month.
So I'm paying more for the pay per view.
You absolutely fucking are. And now that I'm thinking about it, that's the one that I have, so I'm being ripped off.
Yes, you are. Again, by the way.
Yes. Oh, by the way, now that I'm looking at this, if Disney Plus, Hulu, and HBO Max together are $29.99 a month, then ESPN Plus is really going to fucking rape me because, Jesus Christ. We're leaning on that. We still have no judgment yet. I'm running out of time to decide whether or not I'm getting ESPN Plus. But that's another conversation for another day. Let's take it back to AEW for just a second. But yes, this is the shit we're dealing with, right? So let me see if I can look up just real quick price. Hold on, there we go. If you just want, here it is. So if you just want max, right? Just straight, I just want max. That's it. You could get it for $9.99 a month with ads, $16.99 a month for the standard package, which is ad free. You can get it $20.99 a month for the premium, which is ad free, and it's a 4K quality option. Which I guess you're just paying a whole.
So we're breaking even at this point.
Yeah,
I'm not paying a subscription to have ads. That's stupid. So
none of
even
my
at
streaming
16
is so
plus 40 is $56. You're breaking even.
Yeah,
Ridiculous.
basically, in a nutshell. And it's so funny that you said if I'm getting a streaming service, I'm not getting ads. It's so funny because none of my streaming services that I'm subscribed to have ads. I'm ad free on everything, except for one. Netflix. And the only reason that's not ad-free is because I'm not paying for the Netflix. My phone bill is. The T-Mobile thing, it offers us Netflix. But they changed the plan because Netflix changed their pricing tier, and my phone company is only paying for the ad price, which is infuriating. Because every time
you were ad-free and then it went to ads.
And then it went to ads. So I deal with the frustration and anger every day of wanting to just call my company and say, you know what, fuck you, and then just paying for it myself. But I'm like, but damn, that's an added bill that I don't need to add to myself. So staff all the time is like, it's not that big a deal, which is, no, fuck you. It's a tremendous deal.
It's the principle.
As I said on this show a million times, I've paid my dues. I don't need to see that shit anymore. I lived a life where it was unavoidable. You had to watch them. But now, the technology is here. I don't need to watch any of this shit. And I refuse to fucking do it. When Netflix has an ad, when we're in the, like we were watching Wednesday earlier, and an ad hit, and I wanted to punch a wall so fucking bad. And I know that's got domestic violence written all over it, but if I haven't hit her in 22 years, it ain't going to happen now. I will punch a Netflix CEO executive, though. I will do that. Or T-Mobile. Netflix didn't fuck me on this. T-Mobile fucked me on this. Because they could have kept paying the price. They just got cheap on me out of nowhere. Oh, no. He'll be fine with the ads. No, fuck you. You should have asked first. You just made the call on your own. Fuck you. Jesus Christ. So, yeah. So, AEW's fucking with people. They're full of lies. They've been lying to the boys. They've been lying to the customers. They've been lying to the fans. I'm sure they're lying to WBD. I'm sure they're lying to Warner Brothers Discovery. And now we're learning Tony Khan and the Khan family might not be the only owners of this company. They're hiding something. They're hiding something. We're learning more and more about it the more their information comes out. And Tristan at the Super Cool Wrestling Show might have broke some news because Tristan came up with that Chris Jericho topic simply because Chris Jericho liked somebody's status or whatever. But the word on the street right now is that things are not looking good in the world of Chris Jericho and Tony Khan. We're past awkwardness and now starting to lean more into heat. And if I know anything at all about Chris Jericho, that boy petty. That boy petty. And if you're going to get heat with Chris Jericho, oh, he going to make you feel it. He is going to make you feel it. So I hope for Tony's sake, he's keeping his words sweet and to the point. Because you might have to eat them shits. Get ready for the Royal Rumble, bitches. Saudi Arabia is about to pop off. I'm just saying. So, yeah, that's the AEW stuff. We've got more to talk about here. Take a quick pause for the cause, and then we're coming back with segment 3.
It's time for segment 3.
Segment 3 is it's important to me what's going down right here, okay? We took a break 2 weeks ago because I went on vacation. Now, the only reason I'm bringing up this vacation is because there was something that took place on the vacation that I could not, as it was happening, I was like, I got to talk about this on the show because no one's going to believe me, but this is what happened. First and foremost, I've learned about myself, Dave. This trip was very...
That's never a good thing.
Oh, no, not a good thing. I learned something about myself on this trip. Okay, first and foremost, I would like to let everybody know that I was so hyped to go on this trip because I've never been to Canada. I've always wanted to go to Canada. I've heard so many great things about Canada, and I wanted to go to Canada. And that's what we did. We picked a nice hotel, and we got this nice spot over in Niagara Falls. And it's the falls, right? It's the water. It's all this different stuff you can do. They have this area called Clifton Hills where it's just like this. First of all, if you look at the pictures and you look at videos and you do your research on Niagara Falls, it looks tremendous. You get there, you realize that it is tremendous, but it's only like 4 or 5 blocks long.
Yeah, it's not as big as you.
Everything we drove. First of all, we didn't take a plane. We drove. We drove.
Yeah.
We drove the first day. We broke it in half. We figured we did the math and we did the mapping, and the halfway point, about 3 and change, was Binghamton. So we said, you know what, we're gonna break it in half. It's our first time driving like this. We rented a car. We didn't want to put the mileage on our new car. So we said, we'll drive straight 3.5, 3:45 to Binghamton. We'll sleep because we were leaving late. He had a birthday party he had to go to, which cut into the day. So we didn't want to do 7 hours starting from 4 p.m. That would have been weird. So we drove to the hotel. No problem. Pretty good hotel. Wasn't the hotel that we were going to get, but it was a pretty good hotel. And then the next day, we drove up. Now, for those of you who visited the YouTube channel, we stopped at the Strong Museum, the Museum of Play. And we got a chance to see all the stuff that you and I have talked about on the show a bunch of times, and an amazing place. Sucks that it's that fucking far. It's easily 5.5 hours from where I'm at right now. So deep, but it's a cool place, not for nothing. It's very interactive. It's a place for all ages. I highly recommend it. If you ever get a chance to go, you should go. We saw stuff there that Alex had fun with. We saw stuff there that Steph had fun with. I had stuff that was fun, and then we saw stuff where we were like, "Oh man, Sammy would love this." Like for little kids, he's like, "Oh, this is great." They have like all this indoor stuff. It was amazing, and then from there, it was another 90 minutes into Niagara Falls. Now, I started this by saying I've always wanted to go to Canada. I was looking forward to this trip, and I'm ashamed to say it, but I've been to Canada now, and I still don't feel like I've been to Canada. I don't have this feeling like I was in Canada.
You didn't go deep enough?
When we got to
You didn't kiss Moose?
No. Well,
You didn't play hockey?
No, we saw some Canada Gooses.
You didn't get offered a donut?
We did get offered a donut. That happened.
Oh,
that's on the list. We drove to. First of all, I've never seen my wife so fucking nervous in my life.
For what?
For a second, I started to wonder if she had coke up her ass, and just didn't tell me, cause she's shaking. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Cause she's got the passports in her head, and she's like, okay, look, she's like, babe, okay. They're gonna ask you questions because I've only been through customs once in my life.
Oh, and you were crossing the border.
She's been through customs a few times, and she knows how invasive the questions can be, and she knows how I am around cops and shit. So she's like, babe, please, you need to just be playful. Don't please just. I'm like, yo, I'm not gonna get us arrested at the border. Can you relax? Like for real.
Mind?
So I totally would, but I can't tell her that. Like
no, for sure.
Yeah, she
can't
can't
build that confidence.
She can't be like, yo, be nice. I'd be like, yo, that's up to him, yo. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't.
Let's see how he approaches me.
So yeah, word, yeah. Let's see what kind of day he's having. Let's find out. No, but we had. I gave him my passports, and Alex for some reason was dead set on. He wanted to be the one to give his passport, so I rolled the window down, and the dude at customs was like really cool actually, and he was like waited for my son to like get out of the seat and give him the fucking thing, and he was like, all right, cool, and he scanned it and did the whole thing. When we crossed, we passed the border. My hotel, according to the GPS, was 4 minutes from there.
Fire.
So we went through the border. We went up like a long block, made a left. About 2 long blocks down, our hotel was right there. It was like right in the middle of everything. And like when you first go through the border and you're making those turns, all you see is mist from the falls. So you're like, yo, there's mist? Like you could just see straight mist? That's crazy. So we go to the hotel, do the whole shebang. We got there pretty late because we did the museum pretty late and all that stuff. So it's starting to turn dark. And we're excited. We just want to see what the hell's around. So we had made a list of all these things that we wanted to do while we were there because, Steph does homework for recreation. So she was just like...
for funsies?
Yeah, for funsies. So she was just like, oh, let's do this, let's do that. All the stuff that we wanted to do was all right fucking there. Including, like, there was a go-kart thing, the raceway, which was across the street from us. So it was like, everything's real close. So we start walking by. It just so happens around that time they were doing the lights, where the waterfall has lights in it or whatever. So I took like videos and stuff like that. It was really, really cool. It started off really, really cool. And on the way back to the hotel that night, Steph's like, when we go to Myrtle Beach and we go to Orlando and stuff, she likes looking at the shops. So she goes, why don't we go into one of the shops? Because they got a bunch of shops there. So I was like, all right, let's go into one of the shops. We go into the shop. And this is why I got pissed, because everything in this shop was everything I wanted for Canada. There's not, when you go to like surf shops and shit, it's like beachwear, and it's like, I was at Myrtle Beach or whatever the fuck. No, in this shop, it was all hockey jersey sweaters. And they said Canada on the front. And there was like Canadian flags and all of the chips and the snacks had the names on it and then the French names after it. So like the flavors were like, if it was like sour cream and onion, underneath was the French translation to sour cream and onion, which fucked my son's brain up. Fucked him up. He was just, what the fuck is this? I was like, hey, it is what it is. And here's the big takeaway from Canada. Excuse me. The big takeaway from Canada. I know maple syrup is huge in Canada. I know it's a big deal. I didn't realize how big of a fucking deal syrup is in fucking Canada. Think of a container in your head. They filled it with maple syrup. They had shot glasses. They had wine bottles. There was this big, like, life-size 5-foot shit that we saw. No lie, like right on my chin level, filled to the brim with fucking syrup. We saw, you know those old, like, turpentine aluminum fucking bottles where you get, like, old paint cans and shit filled with syrup. I was like, y'all are bugging. Y'all got syrup. This looked like the syrup capital of the world, and we're just touching, like I said, we're like 4 minutes in from the border. We're just touching.
That's where they front load it.
Yeah, I'm just like, this is insane. And I said, and that started the tone. I said, we about to experience Canada this week. This is gonna be dope. And that was the last Canadian thing I fucking saw all week. None of the visitors that were there were from Canada. None of the employees that were there were from Canada. Nobody that we bumped into this entire time that we were there was from fucking Canada. The people who ran the boats, because we did the boat to go to the falls, not from fucking Canada. As a matter of fact, the guy who was the captain of the boat specifically told us he was from fucking Jersey. So it is what it is. I said, okay, but you're from Jersey, but you live in Canada. He goes, no, I live over. Everybody lived on the other side of that bridge. They didn't fucking live there. They were all over there. And I was like, what the fuck?
You got to get an Airbnb about 6 hours in if you're trying to really experience some Canadian
that's what they were telling me. They were like, yo, as soon as you start driving to Toronto, which is like 90 minutes away, they said as soon as you start driving
90 more minutes to hit Toronto
from Niagara Falls. Yeah. I was tempted, bro, because I really want to see Toronto. But the guy was telling me that we went to this. They have this thing called the Sky Wheel. It's 175 feet. The Ferris wheel is fucking humongous. Of course, my dumbass son wants to go on that shit, and my wife was like, "Nope." And then I fucking did it, and I almost blew my asshole out. But
you went up?
I went up. I did it.
My God.
I did it once. I'm not gonna front. I got all the way to the top, and I hit that fucking button. I was like, "Yo, for real." Before I shit all over the furniture in here, let's go. Now, mind you, it was a closed-in Ferris wheel, completely closed in. There's nothing open or exposed or anything, but that shit is high, bro.
Nah, I'm good.
High. My son ate it. He was good. I was the one sitting there going, yo, Alex, I'm sorry. I get the fuck off this thing. But while we were online, the guy who was running the fucking thing was talking to us, and he was like, yeah, there's so much tourism here in this area that it actually, like, financially makes sense because when you go to the hotel, there's a sign right up front. It says US $1 equal Canada $1.40. So for every dollar you spend, it's equivalent to like $1.40 in Canada. So it actually is cheaper to hire American employees because when you pay them American, you're saving yourself some money. So a lot of the people over there are literally from New York, from the other side of that bridge. Some of them from deeper, from different parts of the country, but that's where they go. So we were like, all right. So we didn't see any real Canadians. We didn't hear any real Canadians. But it was so funny because everything there looks like it. It's got the French stuff there. It got the flags everywhere. I got to see some Canada gooses. Just like this. Yeah, the only thing better than a Canada goose is a Canadian moose, as they say in fucking Letterkenny, one of my favorite Canadian television shows of all time. But so we had a blast. It was a good time. The incident that happened, what I wanted to talk about. Right across the street from our hotel is an Outback Steakhouse. Now, the entire time that we were there, we were taking turns deciding what we were going to eat for dinner. Alex got to pick a spot. Steph got to pick a spot. I got to pick a spot. Kind of rotated around. My spot was Outback. I like Outback. I want to go to Outback. So it's right across the street from the hotel. Perfect. After we eat, We chill in the hotel room for a little bit, hit the pool, great day. So we're at the Outback, and they don't have, I don't know how to explain it. Like the outside of the Outback, the area that leads to the street, is not walled. It's open. It's completely open. There's walls everywhere except that area. So you could literally see inside the restaurant from the street. You can't come in because it's like blocked off by like a railing or something, but you can see into it. So you see and hear everything on the street, and the street can see you. And we ordered our food to eat, and while we're sitting there eating the food, we hear boom, right? And we hear essentially a car accident right in front of the restaurant. So we got nervous because when cars hit, they could land anywhere, right? Or like skid off anywhere. So we're like, yo, what the fuck? When the cars hit, the waitress who was standing next to us, she's standing up so she can see it. We're sitting in the booth. We can't really see it, but we heard it. And the waitress saw it. Boom. And she goes, oh, not again. We said, wait,
Did
what?
they both get out their cars and throw their gloves on the ground and fucking fight for it?
Hold on. We're getting there. So
Shit.
So she goes, oh, man, not again. And I said, not again? Is this like a common occurrence? She goes, at least once a week. I said, once a week? In front of your restaurant? You might want to fucking look into that, bro. But no, she goes, at least once a week. So while she's talking, we hear a car just rev and pull the fuck off. So she goes, oh, shit, he drove off. And I said, what? And the New Yorker in me took way the fuck over, and I left the restaurant. And when I left the restaurant, I felt great because everyone else in every other area in there left as well. And there was somebody explaining it to me. So what had happened is it's a very small street. One lane going one way, one lane going another. And I guess some guy decided he was going to pull a U-turn, but he undercut it. It was too much of a cut. And he fucking basically almost T-boned the guy. And the guy he hit got out of the car to look at his car. And while he was looking at his car, the guy that hit him fucking reversed it, spun it, and fucking ripped it. He fucking took off. The guy he hit got pissed. He jumped back in his car and chased the fucker down. And then drove in front of the car, almost like a police tactic when they kind of push the front of the car off to the side.
He didn't get very far.
No, he didn't get very far because when he revved up, there was other cars there, so he was trying to maneuver. He couldn't. That guy basically almost practically used the sidewalk to get around the cars that were causing him a problem, pushed into the front of his car, and both cars wound up on the sidewalk. Now, this isn't your traditional small space sidewalk. Like I said earlier, the go-kart area was literally like a few stores down across the street from my hotel. That area is wide open space. So there could be all kinds of people there. It just so happens in that moment, nobody was there. So they're practically on the sidewalk, both vehicles. The one car is pinned on the other. The guy who got hit now comes outside of the car and starts slamming on the fucking hood. The guy who hit him comes out and they start throwing hands.
Ooh.
Here's where it gets hilarious. The guy who hit him wins the fight. So the guy who got out of the car making the big fuss, you hit me. All right, well, watch this. And he hit him. And he knocked him on the ground. When he knocked him on the ground, he got back in his car, reversed, spun it like almost like imagine going in reverse but doing a U-turn, right? So you're facing the opposite way, and he starts revving it to come back toward the restaurant where I'm at. So now he's revving. Now he's like, okay, I'm getting the fuck out of here. When he starts going, two cars unrelated to this entire situation, they pin him, so he can't go anywhere. And then by then, you start hearing sirens and police, and they kept him in his car so he couldn't leave. But the car was pinned. In order for him to really, he would have to push the gas. Like, he would have to move the car in front of him to break free. There was no fucking way. So then the cops came and the drama was over. But imagine chasing a motherfucker down for hitting you, and then you get knocked out. Oh, you're not gonna live that one down, man. That's tough.
No, dude, come on. If you don't got hands, dude,
Don't get out the car if you don't have the
chase
hands.
them.
Yeah.
Especially in Canada, dude.
Oh,
they like
man.
to fight.
Yo, they do. That's what I was trying to tell Steph. She's like, oh, babe, you're being so rude. You're being so rude. I'm like, but I'm responding.
This is part of Canada.
Yeah.
This is the authentic experience.
Yeah. Oh, what was she told me? You're being too much of a New Yorker. I said, New York's right there. I could fucking see it.
Excuse me, sweetheart. Look around the restaurant. Everyone in here
is from New York. Yes, exactly. She was like, oh, you're being so rude to these people. Like, these people are my people.
Yeah, I think that guy lives in our building.
Yeah, word. Like, for real. Like, it was like, yo, and no for nothing. We were making a joke that Canadian bodegas are great bodegas because they look like bodegas. They look like it. So it was like, it's down to the cats. So I was like, I don't really feel like we went on vacation. We got a hotel in a different borough. That's all we really fucking did.
Borough, yeah.
This is a much northern
We
borough.
went to C Block.
Yeah. So we did all that stuff, and it was really, really cool. It was a cool trip. Very proud of my son for doing something we never thought in a million years he would ever do. Because I love my son very much, but he's a bitch when it comes to certain things. And one of the things that he's a gigantic bitch about is scary shit. And somehow my wife convinced this motherfucker to do a haunted house. And this is a haunted house that people are dressed up. And they like jump scare you and shit and open doors and all kinds of weird shit.
Like that shit.
So here's the thing. He wanted to do the Ferris wheel. So I did the Ferris wheel. So when it was haunted house time, I was like, I'll see you motherfuckers right here. Y'all can go ahead and enjoy yourselves. And we go inside, and the lady goes, we have 3 levels. We have medium, difficult, and intense. Which one do you want? And my wife's thinking, and Alex goes, what are you thinking about? Medium, medium, medium. Do medium. We're doing medium right now. So I was like, all right, we'll do medium. And so I'm paying for it. And she looks at me and she goes, just remember, this is our policy. And she showed me on the paper. She goes, if they get scared and they don't do the whole thing, we don't do refunds. And I said, I looked at 2 of them and was like, y'all heard that, right? If you get scared, come out. Don't stay in there for the money. But I'm telling you right now, don't ask me, because Steph's the first one. See if they'll give you some of the money back. Because no, we're not doing that. As soon as I swipe this card, y'all motherfuckers is in for the ride. So they did it. They went in, and I told Steph before they went in, I said, if anything happens tonight, your ass is staying up, not me. This was your idea. She said, okay, fine. They go in there, and Steph came out laughing. Alex was kind of laughing, but he was more or less like, shh. He had this big-eyed look on his face. Apparently, when they went in, it wasn't like a whole house full of people. It was like 2 people changing masks and shit. So it was like, my son was able to see through it. He was just like, oh, okay, it's just a bunch of goofy people being goofy.
He coped his way through?
Yeah. He convinced himself that, listen, ain't nobody going to stab me or eat me, so we all right. So I was like, all right, good son. Good shit, son. Good shit. Because he gets scared over the stupidest shit. And then he slept all night. So I was like, oh, thank God. We're getting past that. Oh, my God. What a phase. Jesus Christ. Pain in the ass. Anybody out there when they tell you, hey, man, appreciate them when they're young. That's the best time. Fuck all that. I need this motherfucker to hurry up. Because this little kid shit was a fucking pain in the ass. Oh, my God. Bless everyone out there who does this shit more than once. Because my God in heaven. I love my son to death. I ain't doing this shit again. That door is closed. Me and Steph talked about it finally. That door is fucking closed. That is fucking it. We can't do it. No, we're not built for that. We're not strong enough. Look, I made one. He's okay. We're good. I proved my point. I don't have to do the. What was it I say at my job? No second kid? Nope, not making that mistake twice. So there we go. We're moving forward. All right, on to the main.
It is now time for our main event.
Now, our main event of the evening, we're going to sit down and we're going to talk about WWE Clash in Paris. But before we do, I mentioned earlier that this is the last PLE, pay-per-view, whatever the fuck, that's going to be on Peacock. It's the very, very last one that they're doing. And then they're moving to ESPN. Regardless of what I decide, as far as getting the streaming site or not, I don't know what your plans are going to be. I just want to let everybody know out there, regardless of what streaming site these pay-per-views are on, I'm going to see them through one facet or another. So I just want to put it out there for people that when we watch, we're still going to watch our shows. We're still going to do our conversations. I stopped calling them roundtables because they're we just needed to change the things up because the system just wasn't working the way that it was. We did a new show, so we're doing new things. So they're conversations now, not roundtables. But we're still going to have them leading into big shows. Like after this, they've got something going on in October in, what was that? Crown Jewel, and then Survivor Series. Survivor Series will probably do another live thing for that. I usually do them for the big ones. You know, Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, SummerSlam, Survivor Series. And then me and Dave usually talk about the shows that are in between. Before we begin, did you get a chance to watch the whole show?
Yes.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure before we get started, because there was a few times where it was like, oh, I missed this one, so we can help each other out. Because there's actually one match on this card that I was in the room for, but Alex was talking. I don't know. I kind of missed a bunch of shit. So you might have to help me out. It's the second match. So you might have to help me out with that one.
Well, listen, I know you're asking for help, but I'm gonna give you a spoiler right now, dude. Bright and early, we're gonna do this at the top. This shit was a drag.
Yeah.
It's funny because you want to hear the funny part is I was waiting for you to send me this so I could see the times and this was a verbatim. I know they felt long, but I didn't have this idea until my buddy said it, and he's like, holy fuck, I think every single one of these matches have been 30 minutes long.
Oh.
And now that I look at the times...
Yeah, very close.
Oh, no fucking close. These times don't match how they felt.
Oh. Well, there's six...
I'm interested in what you think about it.
Yeah,
I am very cynical about this.
There's 6 matches on the card. I'll just run them down real quick. Match 1, 22 minutes. Match 2, 13 minutes. Match 3, 13 minutes.
This one felt like fucking 40 minutes.
Yeah. Match 4, 20 minutes. 5 was 26 minutes, and the main event was 24. And it felt every bit every minute felt like it. Our opening match, Roman Reigns, Bronson Reed, really into this match. I was really into this match. The 22 minutes I'm sorry it hurt it. It did. I felt they were trying too hard to get Bronson Reed over. They had the crowd in the palm of their hand for so much of it. And, I think another reason like a match like this felt like forever, it was a lot of afterbirth. This particular match, bell to bell, 22 minutes. But then
there was more.
There's so much more that happened after it with the shoes. Yeah. And the selling, and then the beat down on Roman, and there was so much happening after the fucking match. That's easily another 10. That's easily another 10 minutes added.
Easy
to this time here. Roman Reigns, Bronson Reed. They were trying their best, like I just said, to really make Bronson Reed look as big a superstar, no pun intended, as they possibly could.
For what it's worth, though, man, I think it's working, dude. Like
he's really good.
Starting to. I'm buying into the Bronson Reed. Like, I know when they first started pushing him with the tsunamis and stuff like that, I was like, I don't know. But as time went on and where we are right now, I don't know. I couldn't tell you what to do with him right now.
Yeah.
But he feels like it's one of those things like there's something there. He has star power. So now the question, he's not a star. I wouldn't say he's a star. But he has star power. There's potential. Yeah. I struggle seeing where that takes off. I think this was a good look, especially obviously across the ring, 1-on-1 with Roman Reigns. Like that's a very good place to put him. If you're gonna have star power, this is where it should show.
Yeah.
I think it did, but I do agree. It was if this whole from not from bell to bell, from entrance to exit, if this was 10 minutes less total, I feel like it feels much better.
Well, yeah, I agree with that. I would even keep the afterbirth if you just shorten the actual match time down. If the total segment as a whole was about 22 minutes, I would have taken that. Because at least then, in my mind, maybe through the mind of the viewer, that once the match ends, it's almost like a mental restart. It's like, okay, the clock starts over again because now we're doing something different.
And you're telling story at the end, so that's fine.
Yeah, it's supposed
That's
to bridge
perfectly
to
fine.
whatever they're gonna do next.
Yep.
Yeah, which has been dope. The whole tribal thief thing and the Shula Fala thing is getting over, and Paul's got the shoes and all that other stuff. Paul taking a guillotine choke has to be one of the fucking funniest things in the world, because if there's ever been a non-wrestler that I've seen who was masterful at avoiding taking bumps, it would be Paul fucking Heyman. And he's just like, oh, you're gonna, and then you'll take this move. Oh, I don't even have to fall down. Fuck it, guillotine choke. Just fucking stand there and get choked the fuck out. Also, side note, I have no disrespect to Paris or France or any other country for that matter. But I don't know how comfortable I would be in an emergency situation heading to the ER. Just for the language barrier purposes. Now, I know kayfabe, he didn't actually go, but I'm just, in my head, I was like, ooh, I don't know if I want to have like a throat injury and then be in France. Because I'm just, that could be an issue for me. He's like, get someone from the consulate down here immediately to translate through this situation. And I thought of you at the very start of the show. I should have said this before we got into Roman and Bronson, but this match reminded me of this, so I'm going to bring it up now. It reminded me, I thought of you instantly at the start of this show, because we've been here before, have we not, you and I? We've had this conversation in the past. I do not like French fans. I don't like them. I've said this before. Have we not been here before? As soon as the show started, and they did the thing with the flag, when they put the little pieces of paper up or whatever, and it was the flag, and I said, oh, I forgot. I hate y'all. I forgot where we at. Because
they take over a show.
They take it over.
It becomes about the crowd, weirdly enough. And we've said this before. I feel like, and I don't know if they're just selling it, so I'm getting got if that's the case. But it feels like if you're the wrestler, it's amazing. The energy is so good. That's what I at least see on their faces. But on TV, dude, it just doesn't fucking translate.
They lower it down. They're too loud.
And it's still loud.
And it's, I know. Yeah. That AJ pop on Raw is all you need to hear right there, because you hear the initial loud pop and then you hear it getting lowered down. Like you could actually hear someone moving the button down. But I didn't have this problem in Milan. I didn't have this problem in Scotland. I don't have this problem when they go to all these different places. France is insane. And
I know it's a bad take, but I feel like Saudi's the best. Their fucking crowd. Their crowd is so good.
Blood
dude.
money enthusiasm, baby.
Dude, it's like they're really fucking loud and into it. You know what it is? I don't think, and correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like the disconnect for me is that like France has a lot of things that they do that it's like I'm out of the loop. It's like they do these chants that I don't know what's like.
Yeah.
I can't relate to it.
It's not for you.
And it's massive.
Yeah.
And it's it's just a lot. I don't know. It's disconnecting for me anyway.
They do this thing where the count happens and they go, 1, 2, and they kick out. And go, there's something that they say after it.
Oh, what?
And I was like, what the fuck is that? And then me and Steph were joking about it because we heard it a few times throughout the show. And I started to feel like it was You ever seen Beauty and the Beast? You remember the candlestick? He was talking French. And we go, Sacre bleu. And I was like, is that what he's saying? Is that what they say? Are they going, 1, 2, Sacre bleu? I was like, what are they saying? I want to know. So I don't like this crowd. They love themselves so hard. I get American crowds are at the bottom of the totem pole right now. I don't like American crowds because they're on the opposite side of the spectrum. They don't do
Nothing
shit.
impressed them at all.
Nothing. They're dead inside. So, and this one is way too lively. So, and then they're like, "Oh, we're back in France in January." And I was like, "Oh," and then they were like, "We're back in France in January," and then they laid out like this whole tour of being in Europe in January. And I said, "You know what though? That's smart because the Rumble's in Saudi Arabia. So if they could cut down on travel leading up to that, that's actually pretty fucking smart." So I was like, "All right, that makes sense. I'll do it." But yeah, so the reason why it triggered in my head right now, taking it back to Roman and Bronson, because Roman was playing a lot with that, and I had it.
He has no choice.
No choice, but also I kind of felt. This is just a thought. I don't have anything to base it on, but I had a feeling they saw it coming because they've been there before, and they know that this audience can get really, really into it, and they start taking over, and they start doing chants, and I had a feeling like someone told both Brunson and Roman, just play with it the whole time. Let them get that shit out of their fucking system. Hopefully by the end they'll get blown up. But like, because there's no way around it. They're just going to fucking do it.
Especially with the Roman Reigns thing.
Which they, by the way, they used that chant for like a couple of other people.
Yeah.
They've used that exact. They also do it for Cody, right? Cody runs, Cody runs. They do it for other people, so it's not even like a Roman chant. It's just that.
Yeah, but
song.
it sounds better when you say Roman Reigns.
Well,
like it just flows better.
It flows better when you acknowledge your tribal chief at all times.
That's it.
So Roman Reigns does defeat Bronson Reed. Good decision, bad decision. Should Bronson have gone over in this, or was this the right call?
No.
Too soon, right? Too soon.
No. This was done perfectly. Like I said, beginning to end, shave off 10 minutes. This was perfect. Everything went the way that it should. Bronson takes an L, but also Bronson destroys. This is perfect.
Okay. Well, the Wyatt Six defends the WWE Tag Team Championship against the Street Profits. We have more teasing of a breakup between Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford, and I'm gonna go ahead and give you the hot take right here.
Don't care.
I'm gonna give you the hot take right here. Everyone's on Tez's nuts, but I love me some Angelo Dawkins. I can't stand Montez Ford. I don't give a fuck how high he can jump. He annoys the fuck out of me. He's like I've said this before, and I've made a few of my friends laugh with this one because as soon as I said it, they couldn't unsee it. He reminds me of as like a goofy backyarder. He's just a goofy backyarder. He does all the old school WWE taunts. He does the suck it. He's a funny ha dude who just happens to be athletic. And then even when he is athletic, he's always doing old school classic wrestling moves like a goof, like not even like to steal it or to improve on it. It's just all the backyard wrestling shit when all the kids used to get together and just do finishing moves they used to see on TV. That's what he does. That's all he does. Angelo Dawkins to me is he's a big dude who can move. He's coming off the top rope. He's doing dives. This dude could do the power moves. He's got that spinning splash in the corner. I like Dawkins. He looks more like a tough guy to me than fucking Montez Ford. Montez Ford is in shape, great body, great athlete, but he looks like a goof. He's always doing something goofy, funny. Ha 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 ha. I'm over it. I can't wait for this fucking team to break up. I want Angelo Dawkins to have everyone eat shit. Because everyone's looking at Tez. I'm looking at Dawkins. Now, to your point about who gives a shit, overall, I don't give a fuck what you do with either one of them. But if I've got to choose between the two, I'm going Dawkins.
Yeah,
That's my guy.
My thought on this show would have been a lot better if we cut 26 minutes and 17 seconds out of it.
I just did the math in front of me. It's like,
So
oh man.
this is 13:10 of it. This shit. Listen, I think Triple H is the victim here because he is. I don't think it looks like he's trying, but I feel like in my heart he really is.
I feel like he's trying
And he's
extra
trying
hard.
to find the pulse of the tag team division, and it's just not fucking there, dude. It's just not there. You're stable with the Wyatt sticks or whatever the fuck you want to call them. They're doing absolutely nothing at all. I mean, Street Profits, like I'm good on them right now. They're all the other fucking tag teams right now are all lackluster, honestly. And I think this goes back to the point about Ray Phoenix, and or the Lucha Bros being separated. I think that could not have been the best decision for them because they'd have no one to work with.
Yeah, they would have been lost in the shuffle of just
They would.
more guys.
They are so much better separate. So much better separate right now because there's no one to work with. There's no one to work with, and I don't know if it's exposure. I don't know if it's actual raw talent. I don't know if it's just hard to. I mean, we talked about before, like I believe on that Super Show we may have made mention. I believe that's where it was, where it's just like, you know, there are some people that might be great talent, but right now there are quite a few good storylines and people on the move that we just don't have enough room. And I think the tag team division within itself is not in a stable place enough to be placed somewhere where it makes sense. And the talent that you're trying to work with, i.e., the Street Profits, the Wyatt Sticks, like these are people that should be tag team competition. We're not talking about taking two superstars, putting them together, and now we have a tag team. Right? Like these people are made to work with each other. That's what they do. And it's still just not fucking hitting. And I don't know, again, if it's the talent, if it's the positioning, or what it is, but this shit is garbage. I don't need this. It's a waste of my fucking time. I don't care about anyone in the ring. If I see anyone from the fucking Wyatt Sticks interfere into a fucking match again, if I see Nikki Cross come out of the fucking ring one more time, I'm going to lose my fucking mind. Like, none of this is story driven. None of this is tantalizing. None of this feels good to watch. I'm anticipating nothing but the end. So I don't know what they're going to do with this tag team division. There's no light. I can't see any light at the end of the tunnel. There isn't a single tag team that I'm excited to see or buy some fucking merch for. So this is brutal. And it was a drag. It really was.
I was already done with Wyatt 6 a while ago, but the SmackDown before this pay-per-view, when Bo Dallas was talking to the Street Profits as Bo, right? He's not in the Uncle Howdy attire. He's just Bo, and he's talking to the Street Profits. He was talking to the Street Profits like Bray Wyatt. He was. I don't know if I wouldn't. I'm not going to insult the man and say he was doing an impression of his brother, but it sounded like his kind of tone and sound. You know, he was talking to him. He was like, and you know, like that cadence. I was just like, what the fuck is he doing? I said, no, that puts dirt over it. It's done and over with. Y'all need to chill with that shit. Now he's out here trying to be Bray. Oh, my God. Yo, not for nothing. I know it hurts. I know it sucks. You lose a family member, right? But, homie,
They need to let this go.
you need to let this shit go. Either you're good enough to do your own thing or you're not. I don't know. This does not work at all. It's not doing anything for anybody. Speaking of not doing anything for anybody, Becky Lynch defending the WWE Women's Intercontinental Championship against Nikki Bella. And before we travel down this path, I just want to say for the record, as far as Nikki Bella goes, right? I don't think the bar of expectation for Nikki Bella was especially high for this match. I think anybody within
It should be.
a logical sense.
No, it should be.
And why?
It should be
and I'm
because
curious.
don't
why is that?
induct her as a
And
fucking
there it is, and that's why.
as a WWE's legend,
Hall of Fame,
Hall of
legend,
Famer,
revolutionary,
and this is how
pioneer.
she performs. Say
Right.
what you want, but Goldberg or Nikki Bella, you're picking Goldberg. All right.
This time I'm picking Goldberg.
Trish, I have learned and been humbled that she is the GOAT. Okay. But Nikki Bella, I don't know what I was watching. I did not hear once anyone say you still got it. I don't think she had it at all.
No.
And you know what?
Yeah.
You know what? I think Becky was kind of trash here too.
We'll get to that in a second.
And I know she's top caliber, but there's a thing I've been trying to explain about Becky. And I don't know how to say the words that hit, but to me, I saw it. It's like she's her own individual player, role playing at a high level of role play, and she's the only one doing it. Like she's the only one in this play. She's the main character, the side character, everything. And this really exposed it to me because Nikki was so far outside of Becky's level and range of caliber that the disconnect in the chemistry was insane. When she did that jump off the rope kick to no one at all, nowhere, we rewound that 6 times and couldn't stop laughing. Like the timing of these two, the outside when Becky was getting her head smashed into the table, absolutely disgusting. Like
just slapping the table with her hands.
What the fuck am I watching? This is the person who's supposed to be, and you can't tell me that she's not put here in this position for this because I don't understand why she would have the fucking Intercontinental belt to begin with. But she has this belt to give it some prestige, and she's doing nothing but making it look worse. And it's gonna get even worse when we get to the end, because I got my fucking say about that. But that other the other half of that 26 minutes I was just bitching about to make this better, this is the other 13. This is absolutely terrible. It was a fucking drag watching it. I didn't care about anything that was going on. I just wanted it to be over. And this was the match where we all agreed this shit feels like 30 minutes. And to see that it only went 13 is just justifying how bad this shit was. Miserable to watch.
I'm watching it with my wife. And from the bell, my wife goes, Becky is selling off. I said, what? Now, I am both embarrassed and extremely proud of the machine that I have created in my wife. She sees everything. Even the shit that I'm missing, she sees it. She's watching. She goes, yeah, she's selling weird. She's selling weird. She's taking Nikki's punches weird. She's doing something. Like, it's off. She kept saying something was off, right? And I'm watching. I'm like, I don't know. I got to go back and see if she's ever sold like that before. I'm trying to give this woman the benefit of the goddamn doubt. But the match is continuing on. And the match is continuing on. And yeah, you brought up the kick to nothing and all that other stuff. I'd like to refer you to the manhandle slam, sir. I would like to refer to you to the manhandle slam because miscommunication after miscommunication, Becky throws a line. I'm going to safely assume the spot was Becky throws a line, Nikki ducks, hooks her. Right after the line, she ducks, she brings her arm up, she hooks up Becky, gives Becky her own move, the manhandle slam. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm assuming is about to happen. Now, for those of you out there who've never trained and don't understand what I'm about to say, I'll explain it to you. The manhandle slam is essentially a rock bottom, known affectionately in Japan as the uranagi. What a rock bottom is, and I know everyone knows they stand side by side, but your arm, you hook your arm across the chest of your opponent, and your hand goes over that opposing shoulder, possibly back of the head, but mostly just over the shoulder. When you hold that person arm to chest on the shoulder, that inside arm comes up. And then you lift, they jump, simultaneous. Say you took a back bump, that's a rock bottom. Okay, that's a manhandle slam. Becky throws the line, and Nikki did not put her arm over Becky's chest and onto her shoulder. Nikki took the arm she threw the line with and hooked her shoulder blade. That's it. Just a shoulder blade and an armpit. At a rock bottom, your arm is across the body. You're at least covering 90% of the body. She has approximately 7.879% of the body. She has no body weight. It's a disc. She just has a shoulder blade in her fucking arm. And she has no idea in her head that she's missed this spot entirely. She hooks a shoulder blade and then proceeds to lift like she has this superhuman strength. Now, Becky is not a big back. She's not humongous. She's dainty in frame. But no human being, you can't pick up a toddler like that. There's too much weight. A shoulder blade, you're going to throw somebody's fucking arm out. But to the credit of absolutely nobody involved, because they're all stupid, she hooks the shoulder blade, proceeds to lift like she actually has the move on, and Becky's dumbass jumps. So Nikki lifts, Becky jumps, it ends in a back bump, and I can see it on both of their faces. They're done with whatever the fuck this is. And then it dawned on me. It finally hit what it was that Steph was saying was off. I started seeing it. Becky and Nikki Bella, they were doing Shawn Michaels and Hulk Hogan. Becky was trying so hard to overdo everything. And because of that, Nikki couldn't keep up. Because Nikki's, despite her Hall of Fame status, is not a wrestler. She's not. Nikki Bella is a Hall of Fame because she was able to carve out a niche audience that really, really loved the divas. The little girls, the teenagers, and the adult women who live that lifestyle of the glam and the reality TV and the total divas and all that stuff. They were fans of the Bella Twins, not the wrestling community. Now, say what you want about Becky today. Once upon a time, the wrestling community did accept Becky Lynch. That is absolutely no longer the case. We're going to get to the end of this pay-per-view in a second because I think I know where you're headed, and I think I'm on board with what you're about to say. But in this contained little area here, this was a car crash waiting to happen.
And it happened.
The minute this match
kind of like
was
your Canada story.
Yeah, the minute that this match was announced, I could foresee no good coming from this. Nobody wins. And then to see the masterpiece that was the fucking clusterfuck that this was fucking amazing. 13 minutes. No fucking way. There's not a chance. And Nikki's got the craziest cotton mouth in the world. She was blown the fuck up. And here's the problem. Here's the biggest thing too. She's so bland, a human being, that she's blown up. And she doesn't even look tired. She doesn't look happy. She doesn't look sad. She doesn't look pissed. She doesn't look frustrated. No emotion on this woman's face at any point in time. None. She's just there to. This was a training school match between a student and the teacher, and the teacher was the teacher was going for it. Come on, keep up. Here we go. Andre, take down. That's all this fucking was. To your point, Becky's doing more damage to that belt than helping it. She's not doing anything positive for that belt at all. And the end of this pay-per-view is actually going to make it worse. But we'll get there in a second. I don't really have a whole lot to say about this next match. Good old-fashioned Donnybrook match. Rusev and Sheamus. It was a match.
It was a Sheamus match. I like Sheamus matches.
Sheamus matches are good. They're
I
comfort.
love Sheamus, man.
Sheamus matches are comfort food, man. Comfort food.
Yes. Yeah. Listen, when he was up there, not to say that he's not a big star, but when he was the champion and stuff like that, I'm like, man, they're really pushing this guy a little fast. I think that was around the era of the fast pushes, in my personal opinion.
Yeah, it was.
But like, he's just aging like wine for me, man. If Sheamus is on the card, I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
And he looks great. He's losing a lot of that weight that I know that he had the little back.
The little stubborn
back.
little, yeah. He's looking
my
good.
my buddies are upset about it. They said they like Fat Sheamus. Fat Sheamus was awesome. They wish Fat Sheamus would come back, but he looks great. He's putting up the weight down, and he's like a older. Am I assuming wrong that he's older than Gunther? I feel like he is.
That Sheamus is older than Gunther?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I think he might
Gunther
be.
just looks old, but I don't know. I feel like Sheamus might be older, but anyway, it doesn't matter.
Well,
like,
Sheamus right now
he's been around longer. So
yeah, he's
to
definitely
me,
been
it's
around
like,
longer. Yeah.
Yeah. So to me, it's like I see them both kind of in that like same boat. He's like a vintage Gunther. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I love Sheamus. Rusev, I'm a fan. I hope they can figure. I hope he doesn't go down the same route as who's the guy that just left? We were talking about it.
Just left WWE?
Yeah,
oh, Karrion Kross.
Yes, I hope he doesn't go down the same route as him where they just can't really find his identity. But I'm a Rusev guy. I like Rusev. I like what he's done. He's I'm happy to see him here. I think this is a good spot to put him in with a Sheamus. But again, like I said, not like you said, not much to say here. It's a good old fight between the two. And again, anytime you put Sheamus in the ring, I'm there for it. I'm good for it.
Sheamus, 47 years old. Gunther, 38.
47? There's no fucking. I would have never put him at 47.
Sheamus was born January 28th, 1978.
Holy shit, he looks amazing for
47,
damn near 50,
yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
Holy shit. So now I feel bad for fucking Gunther, dude.
Oh, wait a minute.
If you would have told me 47 on Gunther, I'd be like, you know what, I'll get it.
Rusev, 39. So,
okay,
yeah.
he's up there too.
He's up there too.
But he's another one that lost a lot of that fat.
Oh, I'm getting recommended wrestlers now. CM Punk, 46. Jesus Christ.
Jeez, he's old. But yeah, these two, not bad. It wasn't a terrible match. I think, here's the thing. Quick take. If the rest of the card was fire, this match, in my opinion, probably would have been on the lackluster side.
Yeah, a little bit.
Because the card was so weak, especially up to this point, aside from Roman. At this point, this was refreshing. So
yeah, definitely. So after the good old-fashioned Donnybrook match, we had the match. John Cena, Logan Paul, one-on-one. We don't have many John Cena appearances left. They spent one on Logan Paul, and at first I was like, I don't know. Not that I thought it was going to be a bad match. John Cena's on the clock. I don't know if that's the one. And then I watched it and I went, oh, thank God we did this.
Verbatim.
Thank God.
Verbatim. Literally, as it was started, I said to the group, dude, I'm like, are they really going to spend one of John Cena's end run on a Logan Paul? And you know when I said that out loud, I felt like a piece of shit. I felt like a hypocrite.
I felt like a piece of shit.
Because I've been damn near Logan Paul's #1 fan since he got here.
Facts.
And when I saw this, I'm like, are we going to spend this on Logan Paul? And then, like you said, when it was over, I said, okay, yeah, this was Cena. Cena wanted this. Cena wanted to be able to have a go with Logan because of what he's been doing, and they performed.
And they did.
I love Cena in this, actually. I don't know if Logan brought out the kid in Cena, but he actually looked like he had a lot of fucking fun with this match, and it showed. I actually would argue this is probably one of the better ones of his finishing run. It's up there. Like the energy was good between the two. I liked it.
To your point, John had a face that I've seen before. When a veteran has a match with a young guy and he's cheesing like that. That is the face of a veteran going, "Ugh, he listens."
He did a Hurricane
He what? He what?
He did a Hurricane on him, dude.
Yeah, no. They were
Is it me? I want to recap. We got to recap at some point. Sidebar. We need to do his final run and see how many non-John Cena moves he's done in each one of his last matches. Because I swear he's doing something deliberately.
No, they acknowledged it. You didn't hear after? He said like when he did End of Days and all that other stuff they were doing in this match, they were doing finishes that were in tribute to all of John Cena's best opponents.
Oh.
So all of the guys that he had like a tremendous amount of fun performing with, they were doing all the moves from it.
Which is why he bust out the Styles Clash.
Yeah, Styles Clash.
Was delivered like ass, by the way.
Yeah, no, he has no idea how
that
to do
was
that.
A doo-doo Styles Clash. But I respect
he has no idea how to do that. But we tip the cap for the attempt. You know, he's never done that one before. You know?
It was trash though.
And now we know
he got no air.
So he literally just fell down.
It was like a reverse tombstone.
What movie was that? He was like, "All right, you did your thing, but now we know that we will never do it again."
Never do it again. Yeah, absolutely.
If you had a ticket to Paris, save it. That's the night John Cena executed the Styles Clash. That's going to be worth something because he ain't never doing that shit again.
Hats off to Cena. In my opinion, this was match of the night. So
I think that's the general consensus as far as the run has been what it is, and I'd like to sit down when it's over and like really dive into how this whole thing went down because when it's over, I think this is going to be one of the most talked about farewell tours because it's not the first one, but it's definitely one of the most unique. You can have your controversial takes about the heel run if you want, but like overall as a whole, this was a very unique run because I think the heel run makes this one of the most unique because if you go from the Royal Rumble build all the way to the end of the year and you just look at all the ups and downs and unique positions and opponents and all these different things that he did, like this was a very unique run. And I would love to sit, especially to see how it ends. I definitely want to see, because it looks like it's going to be John and Lesnar at WrestlePalooza too. So they're gonna finally burn that match off. That'll probably be a main event. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, as far as Paris goes, this was, like you said, it was basically match of the night right here. This is it.
I liked it, yeah.
Which takes us to our main event, the Fatal 4-Way. For the World Heavyweight Championship, Seth Rollins defending against CM Punk, Jey Uso, and LA Knight. And I know it's burning a hole in you. Go ahead, go for it. This is the main event. We're not going to go blow for blow. We know that Seth Rollins retains. We saw how this show ends.
But I don't want to jump to that just yet.
You don't want to jump to that?
Well, no. I don't want to jump to that real quick because I do want to give a shout out. Okay. To my boy LA Knight.
Oh, boy. Okay.
I don't know how you feel about it, but I'm not saying this is changing the game for him. I'm not saying nothing crazy about it, but what I do want to say is he needs more of this, and I don't know if people agree, but I do like taking the made star power, especially at the height of it right now that Jey Uso has, and putting LA Knight around him. I like that. I think he's the one that could be a good attachment for LA Knight. Put him in a different bracket, nothing too high, nothing too low. I know Jay looks like he's in a weird place where he's still main event, but he's not a runner for the title at the moment. Nor will I guess I would accept the argument that he may not see the belt again. But at the moment, while he's still hot, I think one of the things we've been arguing or at least me anyway, have been arguing about LA Knight is that he needs more of this positioning. And I think being in this four-way was really good for him. I think he showed out like he normally does in matches. I think the Raw after, a lot of his talking was good. The back and forth, the tag team match, like I like this for LA Knight, and let's see what they keep doing with it. But that was my takeaway for this four-way is I just kind of like the way it positioned LA Knight. I'm not saying he's out of here. I just like the positioning is what I'm saying.
Okay.
No? You don't feel the same way?
I'm over him.
I get it.
I'm over him. They had their chance to pull the trigger with me. I'm not going to keep falling for the electric cupcake. After a while, I know it's going to shock me. I don't want to do it anymore. They get close, they tease, they give you this inclination like something's going to happen. And I don't just mean win a world title or win a championship or something like that. I mean, we get moments like this from him where he looks like he fits. He's right there in the main event picture. Here we go. This is going to be LA Knight's moment. And and I'm not even saying he drops the ball. He performs well. Good promo, good build. The match is pretty decent. It looks like he's got the whole package. And then the next thing I know, he's fucking with Tozawa for some reason. I don't fucking know. So I don't know exactly what's happening with the ebbs and flow of things. I know right now he seems to be on a bit of a hot streak as far as who he's in the ring with, because he was the one in the ring when Seth Rollins did the whole knee thing leading up to SummerSlam, and he was the one that kind of had this whole thing going with because it seems like everyone's arguing with the Vision, but the one that you're not remembering is LA Knight. It's like everyone's beefing with him. Roman's beefing with him. Punk's beefing with him. Jay's beefing with him. And then, oh yeah, LA Knight's pretty mad at them too. So I'm not saying he's doing anything wrong. I don't dislike the guy. If he was to win the belt tomorrow, I'd be with it. But as far as me getting hyped over the fact that he looked good in a main event match with 3 bona fide main eventers, I've seen it already. This is the same guy I saw compete for the Universal title against Roman Reigns at a big pay-per-view. We've been here before. Until they pull the trigger on something major, I don't know. I'm kind of over it. I'll be back into it if they give him a decent run. But for right now, I'm done getting my hopes up over that shit.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. And then, so we get to the shitty part of this, where I mean, at this point, I'm like, this is a good match. Like, it's a 4-way. I'm not the biggest fan of this, but they're working the match. I don't like a lot of rest spots when there's so many people in the ring, and there was quite a bit of that in this, and it just kind of disconnects me when there's so many people. There should always be fucking action, like real action happening, not stall punches. Like, give me something. So. But whatever.
A WWE Fatal 4-Way is just several singles matches taking place at once.
Yes, and that's a very good way to pull it, because that's the way it feels.
That's the way it looks, and the vibe is, because they're just taking turns. Okay, I'm going to hit you, you're going to hit me, you bump, boom, and now LA's going to hit me from behind, and now we're going to go at it, and then I bump, boom, and now LA and Jay is going to, and then you just keep this thing going over and over and over. It's a sequence of things. When it happens in Fatal 4-Ways and Triple Threats, like, it kind of stands out. I think it happens in gimmick matches too, like when they have like multiple man ladder matches. It's the same system, but it's more believable because when Tommaso is doing a spot with Tez to the floor and they drop, I understand he's going to be out for a while, right? He just took a table bump. When it's a 4-way like this and it happens, it stands out more because all you did really was just get punched or kicked, and now you're down for the next 4 minutes.
And then you roll out the ring, yep.
Yeah, so I don't understand what took place there. So, especially like with the logic behind things. So, one of the spots toward the end that blew my fucking mind, because I don't understand why and how that happened. LA Knight and Seth are doing something with each other. LA Knight gets the better of him, and Seth's on the table. And then LA Knight goes to the top rope or the second rope like he's going to jump off the table and crash through Seth. When he gets to that part, Jey Uso climbs the ropes, starts fucking with LA Knight. LA Knight kicks Jey off. He takes the bump. Now LA goes to the top rope, drops the elbow, but Seth's been laying there for so long. He moves, and LA Knight misses, goes through the table. He's hurt now. And I watched that spot, and I said, where is the logic in that? Because if I'm in a fatal four-way match and the champion's on the table, he's knocked out. He's not doing nothing. And this guy's going to jump off the top rope, through the fucking champion, through the fucking table to the floor. Why am I stopping that from happening? Why am I interjecting
If
at
you're
all?
Jay, yeah, I got you.
Just let this motherfucker kill himself and the other guy. I'm going to go over here and fight Punk for a while and hopefully get a quick fucking pin so I can win the world title. Why would I interrupt that?
Yeah.
So it's little things like that. I understand why they did it in context, meaning we need a reason for Seth to be able to get out of the way, so this is what we're doing. But, like, it's just a dumb thing to do. It's not
Right.
realistic. It doesn't
It's
make
bad
logical
storytelling.
sense. Yes, it's bad storytelling. Now, they tried to use it on Monday when they had the Raw after where LA Knight was telling them. He's like, you're sitting here mad at the Vision. You're sitting here mad at Seth Rollins. Well, I had a chance last night to get rid of Seth Rollins, to put him through that table, to end him, and you stopped that from happening. He didn't even bother to ask why. He just mentioned that you stopped that from happening. That's your fault, which is true, but we never got a reason for it because there isn't one. There isn't a reason. It doesn't make sense. Why would he stop? Yeah, I can see if LA Knight was dropping an elbow on Seth in the ring because a quick elbow drop, boom, quick pin, 1, 2. Yeah, you got to interfere. It's to the floor. What do I give a shit? This jackass jumps 15 feet off the fucking top rope to the goddamn floor. Why the fuck would I stop that? But it's little shit like that. But yeah, but in the end, I know we need to get to the hoodie. We need to get to Becky Lynch with the big reveal. She is a member of the Vision. She comes through and she fucking attacks CM Punk, and that leads to a Seth Rollins stomp and a retaining of the title. Seth Rollins is still world champion. Becky Lynch is the Intercontinental Champion for the women's division. The power couple back together again on camera. Very briefly earlier on they did this, but this is the return of it now in full regalia, especially based off of what happened on Monday.
Oh my God.
Which is a whole nother bag of shit. And so this leads into Becky Lynch now becoming a full-time member of the goddamn Vision. They're in the stable together. It's been rumored for a while. It's official. It's happening. And I just clicked on something that ruined my audio completely. But yes, so this is a thing. Where are you? Because you sound like you fucking mad as fuck about
This
it.
is terrible. This is absolutely terrible. I mean, I think I'm on record. I might be on record. I don't remember. But I said Seth Rollins could do no wrong. And I feel like this is wrong.
Uh-oh.
Like, I hate this. I fucking hate this. I hate she's dominating the mic. I hate on Monday it was Becky Lynch and CM Punk cutting a promo and not Seth. I hate that it looked like he potentially set up CM Punk to come up the ramp and get jumped, but instead it turned into a stupid ass shout match with Becky smacking CM Punk, which I think they think that went harder than it did, but it was more annoying and irritating than it was like a magical moment. Like, I get what they were trying to do, but it just irked the fuck out of me. Like, I feel like she did that way too long. I was just going to say, I could her to do that as long as she was doing it.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I think I could explain to you right now why it felt so off, because what idiot would stand there and just get fucking smacked? It was fucking dumb.
Well,
if she smacked, when he turned around and caught the first smack, I got it. But then when she started fucking paintbrushing the motherfucker, I'm like, and you're just going to fucking stand there? And just get mollywopped in front of all these fucking people on global fucking television?
It's I know we tied in the Raw with this, but to me it's all one giant clusterfuck. And the last thing, I'm here for Seth Rollins. The last thing that I want is Becky Lynch becoming the mouthpiece
For
of
the Vision.
That's the worst thing.
You know, with Becky Lynch being in the Vision now, I have to ask the question, when Paul gets out of the hospital, does he accompany Becky to the ring now? Because he's been accompanying Braun and Seth. So now are we going to get...
I wouldn't pass him to do it. I mean, take the people out of it. the storyline, it makes sense. It's just her, man. I don't know.
You're just over her. You're over her. That's what it is.
I don't know if she's always been this way, and I don't remember because I don't remember this Becky Lynch. I remember the steampunk goggles wearing extension hair, orange hair, Becky Lynch. Like that's the one that I remember, and I don't remember her personality being this way. Now, granted, I wasn't that attached around that time, so maybe it was. But her attitude and her persona is just unappealing. I think she is a single character D&D game, and she's also the dungeon master, and she's playing the game on her own, and everyone else around her, like it's like she thinks everything is working the way. Like I don't think she understands what it looks like versus the way she's like executing it.
Yeah,
it's really hard for me to explain.
The vision in her head isn't reality.
It's not doing what she thinks it is, and it's fucking annoying. And now that she's a part of this is going all the way to Mania, and I just it's kind of ruining it for me.
We gotta saddle up
Yeah.
and buckle down.
This is gonna be a wild ride.
This Punk's Rollins thing. It, like Dusty said, it will never be over. Just like Punk said it. He used it on Monday. This thing between me and Seth will never be over.
And that was my one thing. I remember just deliberately saying when the cash-in happened, I was on record saying, finally, we get the storyline we were supposed to get. And this completely derails it. It is no longer about Seth and Punk now. It's about these weird fucking mind games with other people involved that I just want Punk and Seth. And now it's official. I'm not getting that.
I get this vibe like they're going to make Becky like a co-leader. Like she's going to be in the back giving orders to the Bronze.
Dude, she's married. What is his is hers.
Oh man.
I don't know which Braun she owns.
I was gonna say, if they get divorced, which Braun did she get? If I'm her, I want Reed.
Well, clearly she's into jacked dudes. So if Seth's smart, he wouldn't let her be owning the jacked one.
Where are we on that? Because I've heard that phrase used for him a lot recently. He said it on one of the ESPN shows. She used it on Monday. He's jacked. Seth Rollins is jacked. He's jacked. I'm like,
I would say he's
in pretty good shape. I'll give it to him.
Fit. I wouldn't call him jacked.
Jacked is like, I mean, that's a different level. I mean, bruh. At this point, would you say like LA Knight looks jacked, right? For his age, he's got like cut.
He is more jacked than Seth Rollins is.
Yeah, he's cut the fuck up. Like it's
damn, Bobby Lashley is jacked.
Yeah, yeah.
So when you say jacked, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, he's looking a little light to be called
Even Brock
jacked.
Lesnar in his like not so bulky size right now, to me, is fucking
2002 Brock Lesnar was fucking jacked.
That's different. The roids were going through the veins, baby.
Oh my god! Straight into the goddamn brain.
Buff Bagwell, that's jacked.
Oh man, he just passed recently
what?
too.
We might have to do a counter segment where we call out all the jacked wrestlers.
I can't wait to do a whole segment on whose man body is the best.
Picture each one of them aside a Seth Rollins picture, and then we can justify if he's jacked
and just fucking ruin. Just ruin fucking Seth Rollins' confidence.
I don't know if jacked is the fucking word you want to be using.
So anyway, that is the end there. We've been going for a long time today, but we were just excited. You know, it's been a while since we've been on the show, so we did this here. Two quick things. One, I just want to remind everybody that it's been a while since we've acknowledged this, and the reason for that is because I always seem to be busy around this time, and we've done a lot. We've done a lot, me and you, in regards to this show, but it was recently brought to my attention on Podbean, which is another bag of shit. We had an issue with our YouTube channel, and the issue with that is that I've been uploading videos directly, meaning I edit the videos, I upload the videos. It's been a nice system. Unfortunately, it's very time consuming. So I noticed in YouTube that they had a podcast section, and that if I put my RSS feed in there, it will upload my episodes directly to YouTube. I was concerned how that would look, but they uploaded in video form. It wasn't like audio like you do on Podbean. So I was like, that's a pretty good idea because it's going to cut a lot of time down. I don't have to edit anything. I just have to schedule the releases so it doesn't flood the timelines and just go about my business. And it's my own fault technically, but I was getting hit with a lot of copyright issues because of a lot of my earlier episodes. And I was editing and editing and editing and editing, and every time I edit, it would give me another one. And every time I edit, it would give me another one. And then I started getting warnings, and then I started getting... And to be honest with you, I've worked too hard on this channel to lose it based on some stupid shit. When I was uploading the videos individually on my own, I was editing around the copyright stuff. I was eliminating the copyright stuff so I could run my videos very smoothly. But when you do it through the podcast link, it won't let you edit the copyright shit. It just lets you fucking sit in it. There's nothing I can do. So then I edit the audio and I re-upload, and it will take it and it goes, you're right, we just read it, there's no copyright issue, go ahead and publish. And then I publish it and it goes, we're restricting your video for age due to content. It's like, but you didn't do that to my other videos. You just did it to the audio, which is weird that you would just do it to the audio. So then I would edit around that, and then when I edit around that, it gives me another copyright strike for something else. And I was like, this is bullshit. So I woke up in Canada one day to like 15 different fucking notifications about copyright issues, which never happens on my channel. So I started getting really nervous because there's only about so many strikes you can get before they go, you know what, cut this shit out and just turn my shit off. So I deleted the podcast from the YouTube. When I did that, it removed a lot of the previous... Actually, technically speaking, it removed all the fucking previous episodes on the channel. I think if you go to the channel, the earliest, farthest back you can go on the episodes is like 260 something. So like when I first started uploading on my own, all the earlier episodes are all gone. So I just want to let everybody know that I'm going to put them back up, but I'm going to do them the way I was doing them before when I didn't have the copyright issues. It'll be slower, but at least it'll be safer, and then I'll get all the episodes on in due time, and then the whole catalog will be up, and then I won't have to worry about it. But I just need the patience to go ahead and set that back up again, and between school and work and doing the live shows, I have to find the time. So just bear with me on that, but thank you for your... participation on the YouTube channel, which at the moment we're doing really, really good on the YouTube channel right now. Our subscribers are up, our watch time is up, our overall views are up. We're in the several thousands. You guys are listening to the show a lot through either the shorts or through the actual segments. I got a lot of viewers on the full shows now. I mean, you guys are sitting through 2.5, 3 hour shows. So I just want to take this time to thank you, and we appreciate everything that you have been helping us out with, so thank you very much on that. So just like I said, just give me time to get it back up. I'll get it back up. We'll be good, and we're going to continue to keep rocking out content for you guys. October 11th is a little over a month away. We haven't done an anniversary show in a while. And technically speaking, this October would be the 8th year of the show. Now, I know that we took like a year and change off, somewhere in the middle, for personal reasons. But the show technically began October 11th in 2017. And this particular October 11th lands on a Saturday. So I was like, might want to do something for that. So I'm just putting that out there in the ether. I'd like to do something for that, get some people on, chatting with us, talking with us, celebrating the anniversary the only way we know how, badass, and having a good time. So that's going to be me and you will talk about it over time. We got time to figure out. It doesn't need to be exactly be on the 11th. Because I know weekends are tough because we're both doing shit, but like
Yeah, we
that.
have to figure that one out. That's a tough week, buddy.
Yeah.
That's my anniversary week.
Oh, that's right.
And my wife's birthday.
Wait, well, which date exactly is I?
13th is her. I'm sorry, I fucked that up. No, that's the following week, I think. Never mind. 18th is her birthday, and then we got married. I think on like the 22nd or some shit like that.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
that's the week after.
Yeah, the weekend after. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, something else is October 11th. That's why.
Oh, but that's why I'm saying it's on Saturday, and you know, you and me, we usually do stuff Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever. So that's the 7th and the 8th. I have no problem doing it then.
Yeah, that's probably what
like
we're gonna have to do.
The normal time, yeah.
I'm gonna have an addition.
Oh yeah,
by
yeah.
that time. So
Yeah. So that'll be the anniversary and the farewell. No.
yeah, absolutely right.
So we'll have to work
figure
all
it
that out. Yeah. So we'll figure that out. But I just putting it out in the ether. We're probably gonna do something around that time for that. So one last thing before we go, and it's a little on the somber side, but just really quickly to round out the show. Unfortunately, some bad news, some not so good news. A very good friend of mine lost somebody very, very important to him. You all know this guy very well if you're a fan of this show. I talk about him all the time. I talk about his website all the time. Of course, that is the founder of tobeseen.com. That is Joe Pombo, Joe Dove, founder voice. Very good friend of mine. We're very close, and I appreciate his friendship. I love the guy. One of the most dependable dudes on planet Earth. 100% one of my favorite guys on Earth. Obviously, outside of my own family, he's pretty damn close to being family at this point. Unfortunately, this morning, we're recording it Wednesday, the 3rd. We had received word that his mother had passed away, and he says he's not taking it okay, but you know, we've had a couple of conversations so far, and he's doing the best that he can. He was very close, obviously. We're all to some degree, but that particular relationship was really, really good. They're really, really close. Virginia is his mother's name. She was actually a fan of the show. She's listened to us a couple times, especially when her son was on. She was the person who fanned the flames on the Murder is Bad shirt, or the idea, like of him doing the whole Murder is Bad routine and everything like that. Great sense of humor, great lady, always a fun time. Obviously, excellent mother. And although she never spent a day in the wrestling business, she ended up giving me one of my favorite parts of the wrestling business, which is Joe. He's one of my best friends in the world. I feel so terrible for his situation. You know, at some point we're all going to have to go through it. But at the same time, it's never easy to have to go through it. So I know that this is a tough time for the Pombo home. So I will continue to reach out to him. I'm going to continue to try to be a supportive friend. Maybe even take a trip to Jersey and check him out and see what's going on and do my due diligence in getting that man as drunk as humanly possible, which is what I would hope my friends would do for me. And so, in spirit of a passing, although Miss Virginia Pombo was not a member of the wrestling family or community, I do feel that in spirit of who she was as an individual, is very fitting of one of the highest tributes that a wrestling community member could receive, which is the honoring of the 10 bell salute, which is a tradition in professional wrestling when you have a fallen friend, fallen coworker, fallen family member, and although again not in the wrestling business or in the podcast game, her contributions to this show are immeasurable. Not just because she's the mother to Joe Pombo, who's a huge part of this show, but just her fandom, her connection to the show, her contributions to the show. She was a wonderful lady, and she lived a hell of a life and had a hell of a family. And as Joe wrote earlier, and I'd like to actually pull it up because it was really, really cool the way that he worded everything. So I want to make sure that I got it right. Here, pull it up here. Excuse me, sorry. He posted, I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I will read the sentence that really stuck out to me. It was about 2 sentences. I find peace in knowing that we will all be reunited in the kingdom of God. My mother was a fighter, stood with undiagnosed MS for 30 years at least. Still made it to Brooklyn and back every weekend to provide until the illness took her ability to walk. And then he proceeded to give so many great examples of how strong of a woman she really was. So we send our condolences out to the Pombo family. I don't know exactly when we're going to be able to get Pombo back on the show because of this, but at the same time, it all happens in due time. Grieving doesn't have a time limit on it. It is what it is. So, in honor of Mrs. Pombo and her passing this morning, we will pay tribute and pay homage to Mrs. Pombo and this loss with the traditional 10-bell salute. Thank you for everything, and we will see you guys next week. And so here we are with our tribute.